Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! That's it! Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
That's a real year. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. You're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by it.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking point.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. For the business. Did not for the business.
We see through the hype. Call out the feed.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. HG Caveman back with another episode of Football Frenzy. Just so everybody knows, next week's show, or this week's Wednesday show, will be canceled. We're doing our gift baskets Wednesday morning. So Till the Final Whistle regular show this week's going to be canceled. But you can check us out over at Valor Point. I don't know if we're doing any type of stream, but we'll be over there tomorrow, and everyone can check it out online. We'll be posting that. But we're getting right on the edge of playoffs. Right there. The playoff brackets are starting to get figured out. NFL projected playoff picture is coming out. Got your top 12 coming out for college football heading into conference championship weekend
Gonna be
this
a lot.
weekend. So
There's going to be a
a
lot of
lot,
controversy about
lot
this
going
playoff
on.
bracket for the college.
And with that, with those conference championships being this weekend, only got 5 games this weekend. But the slate of games that happened in rivalry weekend and just this last week 14 is a deciding factor for all those games.
It's going to be a pretty crazy decision when that final bracket comes out. But why don't we jump into our top 25 recap here, Caveman?
Let's do it.
Definitely a lot of great rivalries going on in this one as well. And we'll start on Friday. Some pretty crazy matchups here for sure. You had this has been a pretty one-sided rivalry the past few years, Indiana and Purdue. And yeah, it wasn't close again this year. Indiana annihilates
Beat him down.
Purdue 56-3. We got Texas and Texas A&M, and the Aggies' undefeated season is no more. And this one loss is going to keep them out of the SEC title game. So a good season from the Aggies, but they hadn't really – you look at where the SEC standings shaked out, and they hadn't really beaten anybody in the top half of those standings. I know like Auburn was ranked at one point to start the year, same with Florida. LSU, Missouri were both ranked when they beat them. So that's not necessarily the Aggies' fault. It wasn't like they got lucky with the schedule. I mean, there were just some teams that didn't meet those expectations. Same with South Carolina. They run into Texas, who, if Texas had their stuff figured out earlier in the season, would absolutely be in the college football playoff at 10-2. If their only 2 losses were to Ohio State and Georgia, but they had that crappy loss to a terrible Florida team that's going to keep them out of this, which I think a lot of teams are probably thankful for. It took the Longhorns a minute to get it figured out, but with the way Arch Manning's playing, that defense has had some phenomenal games the past couple of weeks. Texas would have been a problem, but they'll just have to settle on the bowl game. But they do take down the rival 27-17. Continuing on Friday night, we had the deeper than hate rivalry, Georgia Tech. Still a close game this year, not an 8 overtime thriller. Honestly, both squads kind of looked shaky on the offensive side of the ball. 16-9 victory for Georgia. We go down to the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. The Rebels took care of business in Lane Kiffin's final game. Wasn't sure whether if it was going to be his final game or not, but it turned out to be. A disappointing season for Mississippi State. A lot of games that were
only one conference win.
Yeah, they're only one conference win. They lose to the rival 38-19. Just miss out on bowl eligibility. Utah, Kansas, which I believe might have just been a conference game. I think it might also be a rivalry game. Not one of the more popular or famous ones. And Utah taking care of business, 31-21, 10-2. Utes not likely to make the playoff, but going to certainly be one of the best teams left out of it. They were playing really great football down the stretch there. And we had the in-state rivalry between Arizona and Arizona State. And, I mean, Cayman, your Bearcats.
Wildcats.
pretty dominant win over the Sun Devils
Yep.
here. And I'm looking at the way Arizona's played this year, and I think back to those 2 games against BYU and Houston. They just had the Cougar conundrum this year. 2 games where they really could have won, but they didn't execute down the stretch. Let BYU and Houston get out of there with a win. I mean, this would be a very different story.
I know, man.
Game, Arizona would very much be in play for the playoff, and it would be a
It's looking like Texas.
team. Yeah. If they just couldn't take care of business early in the season. Really started playing their best ball, but it was after racking up a couple of losses. It was just
I mean, those losses too, I'd say it's probably some of their best play, except for the Houston game. No one could really stop QB draw. That's kind of all they ran all year.
right.
It was like their main play.
I mean, really, your only bad loss on there is to an Iowa State team who was at the time really hot. Then they kind of crumbled and fell apart. All right, flashing
They had a
forward.
good schedule.
Flashing forward to Saturday, we had the game, and the streak is broken for Ohio State. This is the first time since 2019 that they've at least won in Michigan. They hadn't won for this rivalry game for at least 4 years, might have been 5. That streak is broken, and I think that just answered a lot of questions about the Buckeyes too. I was even saying, like, who have they really played this year outside of, say, Illinois was really their only super impressive win, in my opinion. But this one answered a lot of questions.
Okay.
Julian Sand had an early interception, and I really thought, I was like, Michigan gets points on the board. They get a takeaway early. The crowd's getting energized. Sand, the young quarterback, first time really starting in this game as a sophomore. I was like, all right, he could get rattled. I mean, this could be bad news for the Buckeyes, but then they took firm control of this, and Sand was just deadly efficient.
They just needed to figure it out.
And
They
I'll say,
didn't
I
have
mean,
a game.
I'm seeing the way he took command in this ball game. Definitely deserving of the Heisman nod. He should for sure be a finalist. He was fantastic in this one. Texas Tech was taking on Virginia. This thing wasn't even close. 49-0. Red Raiders with a dominating victory. Before they take on BYU in the Big 12 championship. Oregon had to go on the road to play a scrappy Washington team. This is one of the great rivalries dating back to the Pac-12. And, I mean, Dante Moore, another really solid performance by him on the road against a good defense. Oregon was in control of this game, even though Washington at one point brought it within 5 in the fourth quarter. Pretty commanding win for the Ducks, 26-14. And they will, at the very least, have a home playoff game going into the postseason. All right, Oklahoma LSU. The Sooners come away with the victory, but this just leaves me with a lot of questions about how this team is going to fare in the postseason. I'm looking like they got the good defense. They really do. Like, it's a championship caliber defense for sure. But that offense has been a brutal watch for going on like 5 weeks now. Wildly inconsistent.
A lot of drives that just die out.
Yeah.
Like, good stats from Mateer, and just like score doesn't really match.
No.
What the box score has got.
It does not. And really, I mean, I thought that they were going to lose this one, and then LSU just had a complete meltdown on defense, which kind of led to the victory for Oklahoma. I mean, I'm looking at it, man. You could have there's a chance that a 10-2 Oklahoma is in the playoff, and an 11-2 BYU who I think is much better offensively and has a similar caliber
Would be out.
defense,
Yeah.
is not going to be in there. Just not sitting right with me. I think Oklahoma, whoever unless they land like maybe the group of 5 team, is going to be in some trouble in the first round of the playoff. I just don't think they're going to. I don't know if they're going to be able to put up enough points to compete with whoever they get, but we will see. One of those teams, though, where these late games they provide you with more questions than answers. Notre Dame left no questions in their victory over Stanford. The Irish with a dominating 49-20 victory, which will probably sure up their spot in the college football playoff, which, again, there's going to be controversy that they're going to probably be in and Miami is not, despite the head-to-head victory the Canes have over the Irish.
Yeah, it kind of is weird that, I don't know. The only reason I feel like Notre Dame's making it in is because of bias towards Jeremiah Love. Just kind of wanting to see the best player in the country right now in the playoff.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the main reason that they're getting a nod.
And I think it's also
they're in over BYU, who's got a better record, stronger schedule.
Yeah, it's also I think it's something to do with them going to the national championship last year.
They're a little favored,
right? The people saw them in the playoff last year and think that they can do it again. And yeah, they probably could. I mean, this is a good team. It's a really good team, but they weren't able to come away with a victory against one of those top schools early in the season. And just strange that that's not going to hurt them as much as it might hurt some other teams. Alabama in the Iron Bowl. This thing was it was close there for a minute. Auburn really was given the Tide a scare, but the defense forcing a late fumble that really helped seal this thing. Alabama escapes the Iron Bowl with a victory and keeps the rival Auburn from qualifying for bowl eligibility. 27-20. BYU taking care of business.
Sorry, Amanda. Just
BYU
talking football.
Taking care of business against the UCF Golden Knights, 41-21. Another Cougars will look to get some revenge on Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship. Yeah, here we go, Miami. This was a dominating win by Miami. They shut down a very explosive Pitt offense and torched them 38-7. And they didn't. The ACC is just a mess. They're not going to be making the title game. It's Duke, Virginia. It's a whole conundrum. I'm like, at this point, I want Duke to win because it seems like Miami's going to get hosed by the committee, and they're not going to get in. And I'm like, all right. I mean,
well, it's already been decided that whoever wins the ACC is making the playoff, and there's no other ACC team.
If Duke wins the ACC title game, because they're in the ACC title game, there's no way you can put Duke in the playoff. You'd have to go to like a Sun Belt conference.
Well, they would go to a different conference winner, and there would be no ACC teams.
And I mean, like I want that to happen because if Miami's not going to make it, despite their big victories over, Notre Dame, they crushed South Florida when they were on a hot streak. This dominating win over a pretty good Pitt team.
Put JMU in there, UNLV.
I would say give it like JMU probably make the most sense.
I like UNLV maybe getting it in the nod because they just have like the unction of dudes that had been transferring there for their entire college career, like Justin Flo, Alex Orgy. They're like a bunch of seniors and guys have been transferring around their whole career that were 5 stars at one point. Jojo Earl, real big recruit. That man, they got a lot of guys that just used to be at the top of their like the peak of their position. They're young recruits, didn't pan out. Like now they're 10-2, all in a different school.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
We'll have to see
JMU
who comes away in conference championship weekend. I mean, there's no guarantee JMU or UNLV even wins their conference championship.
Yeah, I know.
And Virginia still probably Virginia crushed Duke earlier in the season, so you'd think like on all likelihood Virginia could probably win it again. But I don't. The ACC, man, does not make any sense this season. I'll tell you what.
No, they projected this all for Miami to be the 11, but it's Duke and Virginia in their conference championship. Man, that's just stupid. And I mean, UNLV, they're not even the favorite in this championship game. They got 2 more wins than Boise State. How does that even make any sense? Boise's a 4.
So in San Diego State, I can't believe they didn't make it to the Mountain West Conference Championship. It really seemed like they were a shoo-in.
The only other team I really see making it in over a ACC team is James Madison, though. Because they just have the best record. They're not putting in a 3-loss or 4-loss Kennesaw State or Jacksonville State.
Yeah, like
the Conference USA.
Conference USA, that's not happening. Yeah, if JMU wins, I think it'd just be them at 12-1. If UNLV wins, I mean, like you could probably put in like
maybe put Tulane or North Texas at 11 and them at 12.
I mean, yeah, would you just go with that, like the loser of that game? Because Tulane's still ranked. I mean, if it's a 3-loss Tulane team, and somebody's got to be. I mean, they got to do a 5th conference championship winner, though. That's their criteria. So
it'd probably be whoever wins the American at 11. If Duke wins the ACC, and then the 12 seed would probably be JMU or UNLV. Maybe even Duke. Who knows?
Yeah, they might just throw Duke in there. You can't do that, dude. They have 5 losses.
8-5 Duke just randomly making the playoff because
that would be backwards.
Yeah, no, we don't want any of that. They're actually pretty much a home team too in the ACC championship because it's in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, so Duke fans don't have to travel far at all.
No.
And you got, I'm sure Virginia fans will travel pretty well. They were pretty hyped about their team up there, though.
That's BS.
I think, I mean, like that's Duke winning's the nightmare scenario for the committee, and they should be put in that situation.
I hope so because they're dumb.
They're hosting
BYU not in this playoff.
I'm like pretty convinced that neither BYU or Miami, like Miami's basically got a 0% chance, and I think like BYU, even if they lose to Texas Tech, who's like a top 5 team in the country, I'm sorry, like Texas Tech is probably like if you had to pick 5 national championship contenders, Texas Tech's there for me.
Because if we could really make a case here that Texas could be it in the conversation just off their resume. Beat Vandy, played Georgia when they were in the top 5, lost. Just beat Texas A&M, Ole Miss, beat Ole Miss in the Red River rivalry. That Florida game, kind of sloppy loss, but really tough conference defense. and then they played Ohio State. It was only 14-7. Like you could make a conversation for like, any team now because nobody wants to win the ACC.
That Florida loss for Texas is what disqualifies them for me. Like you're 10-2 and your only losses are to, Ohio State and Georgia. I'm fine with that because those are two national title contenders. I think Georgia might be the only serious national title threat out of the SEC, if I'm being honest. The rest of those teams that are going to probably make it from the SEC are looking a little shaky. Even Georgia looked kind of shaky in this last one, but they just have such a good defense that I think it's enough for them to potentially pull off the dub. All right. Well, we have the another in-state rivalry
mix.
Vandy, who's going to get left out of the mix, probably dominates Tennessee in their own stadium, a 45-20 victory. Diego Pavia had an absolutely masterful game that we'll get to here in a second. We had the UCLA-USC rivalry. The Trojans taking care of the Bruins pretty easily, 29-10 in that one. The Commonwealth clash, it was all Virginia, 27-20. Caps off a pretty rough season for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Cal, man, they helped, cause some of this chaos within the ACC. All SMU had to do was beat Cal, and they got to do a shootout with them. I mean, this is a pretty solid Cal team, and they're kind of a younger squad. They've got a true freshman starting there at quarterback he's got incredible talent. So, I mean, Cal could honestly be on the come up in the ACC if they don't get wrecked by the transfer portal. They get a 38-35 victory over the Mustangs. And then the cap off our top 25 action. Tulane shuts out Charlotte 27-0 to secure their spot in the American. All right. Well,
this was kind of a rough game. I think we should start with this one. They're kind of the easiest game of the week. They got the most cupcake matchup of anyone, except for even BYU. UCF isn't that bad. They're better than 1-11. But it was like this game you just take off. Kind of surprised that Retzlaff only scored 2 on the ground and had 2 interceptions. But
right, like honestly, this wasn't as dominant as you would have expected from Tulane. Like the Retzlaff was kind of careless with the football, and I mean they ran the ball all right, like 4.3 a carry. But it's just kind of surprising how shaky the Tulane offense looked. And like on the other side, I'm like, I don't know if like the defense played well or if it was just, Charlotte being Charlotte on this one. That was why they got the shutout.
I think it was just Charlotte being Charlotte. The team rushing yards were -3. This guy has the most carries, had 4 yards on the ground. They had a fumble.
Couple an interception.
9 sacks. Oh no, 3 sacks, 9 tackles for loss for Tulane.
Yeah, they were kind of just showing why they were the 1-11 team. Because man, did Tulane give them some opportunities, and boy, did they fail badly to capitalize on them. Well, another team that had a cupcake matchup in rivalry week is Indiana playing Purdue. Mendoza got very limited action in this one. He came in for a little bit, went 8 of 15 for 117, 2 touchdowns, Hoosiers got up big. Signetti said, "That's it, kids. You're done. Hop out of the game. We're going to just run this ball 37 times for 355 yards and 5 touchdowns." It was, Purdue, man, they're the no answers for either side of the trenches. This was a very statement victory though for Indiana. Just like, all right, we can run the ball. We got a great offensive line. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't get more sacks. They only ended up with one, but this Purdue offense was pretty dysfunctional, and the pressure that they had was a good part of that. And you look at the rushing yards for the Boilermakers, only 44 as a team.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of good coverage, not really blitzing too heavy. Like Brown threw 47 passes in this one, but he wasn't really, so he's like almost 50% completion, which is like throwing 47 passes is pretty bad. No touchdowns, interception.
So Indiana, they're
They just got
looking
killed.
very ready for the playoff. It'll be a good matchup between them and Ohio State. I'm probably still leaning a little bit more towards Ohio State in that one, but I do think Indiana will really give them a run for their money. Well, Ole Miss, man, they looked great in this one. Chambliss statted with 359 and 4 touchdowns. Kwan Lacey had another fantastic performance, 143 on the ground and a touchdown. Deuce
And they're not going to have a coach for the playoffs.
Yeah, crazy average on there. He wins the Egg Bowl, just dips out, goes to LSU. He's not even gonna coach for the playoff, which is crazy to me.
LSU is going to pay him the same amount of money that Ole Miss would have, if like depending on their wins. It would be like a set like bonus for playoff wins, and then another huge like $1 million bonus for the national championship. LSU planning to pay Lane Kiffin based on Ole Miss's playoff success without him even coaching the team.
Wild. And then I forget who Ole Miss, they hired a coach already, and it kind of, to me, this feels like a panic move, and I'm not super confident about this team's ability to go deep just with all that drama there. I think like you just overall talent wise, like, yeah, this team will still be a problem. We'll just see. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's going to be really tough for these players to overcome all this drama. And likely this is a team that would have caused some problems, been one of your final, could have easily been one of the final 4 teams. And if Lane was still there, I would have them as a national title contender, but
it's different now. Like
without him, I'm just not so sure about how this team is going to fare.
He always has a messy exit, dude. He's had like his last 5 coaching jobs. I swear, he's had the most messiest exits where it just causes a bunch of turmoil in the team. Freaking, what happened to Alabama when he was just a offensive coordinator? Nick Saban told him he didn't even want him to coach in the national championship game. Told him to leave for the game.
When he left,
got booted out of Tennessee.
The drama there. Yeah, man.
Left LSU when he was originally there. It was a similar situation where he was in a really good spot with LSU, had a great all-time record, and then was just going to go to another team. USC, fired. Messy exit there, gone. Nobody liked him at USC. Now this.
I'm just surprised. Like, I mean, as a that would kind of concern me as an AD, man. Like that you are just like, what's your spirit as a competitor? And like, dude, like if it was me, like if I coached a team to an 11-1 record and the berth in the college football playoff, no way in hell I'd want to leave until I saw that out to the end. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would want to see it out to the end of the year.
Like
I'm not
that's just
leaving before the playoffs even start. That is
like,
bull crap.
I mean, like I gotta see, like I would believe in my heart, like, yeah, we can win the championship. I don't care what new better opportunities waiting for me. Like I would want to finish that thing. I would want to, like, I'm just like, oh well, good regular season. Don't care about the playoff. I'm out of here. Like that's the whole reason you coach. That's the whole reason you play, for a chance to compete for a championship.
And you're probably a big reason why
for
they
him,
play for your
it's
school.
about the money and the program and the sororities, whatever. I guess doesn't. I'm like, if I was an AD and I'm like, wow, you want to leave before you cap off like try to cap off a historic season.
One of the best seasons in a while for them.
For this school, like what? Why? Doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
But at the same time, I kind of hope that the playoff does go well for him with the new guy.
Yeah.
And then it, like, Lane Kiffin's going to have to deal with Garrett Nussmeier. And, like, Trinidad Chambliss can throw the ball for more than a 10-yard pass. Garrett Nussmeier needs to work. That's going to be a different story.
All right. We're going to go to the Civil War of Arizona now. Flash over to there. And, man, this was complete and utter domination by Arizona's defense. 5
Territorial Cup.
The Territorial Cup. That's what it's called. I could not remember the name. Thank you. The Territorial Cup. This was complete ball control dominance by Arizona. And they did it really not rushing the football well. Only 88 rushing yards on 44 attempts. So, I mean, like they only averaging like 2 yards a carry, but they somehow held the ball for 40 minutes.
Hey.
That was over two. That was like 3/4 of the game, pretty much almost. So, they definitely did those fractions wrong, but you know what I'm saying. They were 10 of 20 on third down. They went for it twice on fourth. 5 takeaways. Just absolute domination over their rival here. And the Sun Devils, they were looking all right with Jeff Sims the past couple weeks, but then they really ran into a real defense, and things just.
But he threw 3 picks.
Yeah, things just fell apart. They'll begin. I believe Sam Levitt's probably going to come back. I wonder what Jordan Tyson's decision is going to be. Will he return? Will he transfer? Is he going to declare for the draft? He'll be going into his senior year. Certainly, like the future's not bleak for the Sun Devils. They're kind of a disappointing a disappointing season just in general. I mean, 8-4, you're going to qualify for a bowl game and everything, and you'll just definitely know this team had some aspirations of going back to the college football playoff, and they just were. Their QB wasn't able to stay healthy.
Really difficult schedule too.
Yeah, they had a tough schedule.
I mean, they're a really well-coached team. They got their boy Dillingham.
Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny Dillingham. But it's really hard when you're dealing with all those injuries.
That's tough.
Like they got Kanye Udo transfer from Army from last year, and he wasn't really very healthy all year either.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was another thing, is they just never really had a super consistent running game or rushing attack, and that kind of hurt them as well.
Then you look at Arizona again. I mean, Fafita, good chance that he comes back as a junior. Had a pretty solid season. I mean, he'll likely throw for over 3,000 yards after their bowl game, but he had like 29-63 right now. 26 touchdowns, so only 5 interceptions. I think the Wildcats can look at like this season and be like, man, I mean, we 9-3, really good, successful season for us, and it could have been better. And I think that's
huge bounce back from last
something
year.
they could really build off of. This defense was playing some of their best ball down the stretch too. That was just kind of what was hurting them early on in this one, is that they just really they were having a tough time stopping anybody. They could put up the points just fine, but then you look at some of their last few games, they were pretty good against Cincinnati. Came up with a big stop in that one. They held a very explosive Baylor team to only 17 points. And Sawyer Robertson definitely had like one of his lowest passing totals of the season. And then a banged up Arizona State defense just completely blanked in this one. So watch out for the Wildcats next year. I definitely think they could be. We'll see how they do in the portal, how the recruiting class shapes up. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were in Big 12 title talks and potential playoff berth next season.
They got to keep stringing together some good recruits.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this A&M game here. I got some thoughts on this one for sure. This was really just the A&M defensive line got exposed in this one, man. I mean,
Wisner was all over the field.
Whatever they wanted running the football. Wisner was averaging 8.2 yards a carry. Then Arch just gashed him on a couple of designed runs. He had that 35-yarder late in this one. That was just really a backbreaker. Marcel Reed, he got hurt, ended up coming back in this one, but I think that injury definitely threw him off.
Yeah.
A little bit.
180 yards, 2 picks.
Right.
I mean, Archie Manning didn't even have to pass all that much.
Texas only recorded 1 sack in this one, but I mean, that's just a credit to the athleticism of Marcel Reed and his ability to extend plays and escape pressure, because they were getting after him. And I think that was a big part. You look at the completions percentage and the interceptions, it was him trying to do too much and play a little too much hero ball. And it's like on some of those interceptions, it was just like, all right, just throw it away, man. Live the fight. Another down. Didn't end up doing that.
Throw it away or just take the easier read. Not try to force anything downfield.
Yeah, the Longhorns, like we were saying, really just they got it together at the right time. Outside of that Georgia game, that was kind of an ugly one. But look at that stuff. Like you look at their last 5. Georgia's really the only unimpressive game there. I mean, they were Mississippi State took them down to the wire, but that was a great performance by Arch in the offense. Big win over Vanderbilt. Arch was putting up video game numbers against Arkansas, and A&M. This was an impressive home victory over them.
Yeah, Quintrevian Visner, man, getting the carry, or just putting all the boys in his backpack. He didn't even get a touchdown though.
Yeah, they couldn't give him one. That was a little messed up. So looking at this season, did not pan out exactly the way the Longhorns thought. But I think you're going to probably see Arch come back, and there's a good chance that this team that they look like, late in the year is the team that will get next season, and they might be a little bit more. They're more likely to make a playoff, win a championship, and then we might see Arch declare for the draft. I kind of feel like he's going to do another year. It seems like he's coming back. They didn't accomplish everything that they wanted to here, and obviously with NIL, I think he can.
Wisner is a junior too. Pretty sure a lot of their receivers are pretty young. Ryan Wingo's a sophomore.
Wingo's only a sophomore, so you'll likely have him back. I don't foresee
Hendries is a junior, their tight end, so he'll probably stay.
Parker Livingston, he's just a freshman.
Emmett Mosley is a sophomore, so a really young offensive unit after all those guys got drafted to be rookies in the NFL this year.
It seems like a lot of they believe in Steve Sarkisian. A lot of those guys do. I think shouldn't be too difficult for him to retain a lot of that talent, and they'll be right back.
What's going on with all those other teams? Ole Miss, LSU is probably going to have to rebuild still a little bit. I don't care what Lane Kiffin brings in there.
That offense has a lot of problems with it, that's for sure.
Texas is looking forward to the future for next year.
I mean, it could be some turmoil for some of those other SEC teams. It could be pretty open for the Longhorns. We're going to go over the deeper than hate rivalry game, and boy, I tell you, this was an ugly football game. Gunnar Stockton threw for 70 yards, had an interception and a touchdown in this one. I mean, dude, it was.
Those rivalry games are tough like this, man.
It was grisly. It was that the Bulldogs defense held Georgia to just 3 field goals. So, I mean, Georgia's defense is looking championship ready. They bottled Haynes King up in both the rushing and passing game. Only 181 yards of interception for King and only 39 yards on the ground.
Let him pass it as much as he wanted to. In between the 20s and this, they got real stout in the red zone.
They did.
All day long. No touchdowns allowed for Georgia's defense, but how many of passing yards did Gunnar Stockton have?
70.
Oh, God. You better hope that doesn't happen in the playoffs.
Right. He was 11 to 21 for 70 yards. I'll say that
like
probably
better
games running the football. The 190 yards as a team. They've got Nate Frazier some room, and then McCray and Stockton were all right. They 43 and 42. They were finding quite as much room, but they were really just they did not. Felt like Kirby just was not trusting Gunnar in this one, and he was just trying to keep the ball on the ground and play field position and keep the Georgia Tech offense from having a short field.
Making them work for every yard.
And so, I still believe that Georgia's probably the only team I trust fully out of the SEC to win the national title. Like right now, I would probably go with I'd either go Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech. If Notre Dame's making it, I'm going to throw Notre Dame in there, which it seems like they are. Then probably Georgia. Then just outside of like an actual contender, but I think they could go deep as Oregon. But like those are about the 5 teams that I think that I'm pretty sure are going to be in the playoff. or basically guaranteed in the playoff, I think can actually win the national championship. Now, Georgia, it's just because of the coaching and the defense, but the way that this offense played, it makes me think back to how they looked against Notre Dame coming off that bye, and like they just weren't that, like, you know, you play a football team that's, you know, can match you in terms of size and physicality with the defensive front, and they've got an incredible like running back. You know, somebody with an elite running back like that could cause some problems for Georgia. But I've also seen the offense be really explosive, and you got to have faith in Kirby Smart as a coach to get it figured out, you know, and get his team postseason ready.
Yeah, I mean, he's won like way too many national championships with Georgia. Going through Kirby Smart's down the list for coach, the national championship winning team, like 5 times in the last 15 years. He's won a lot of national championships with them, so.
So we'll see. You know, it's a rivalry game. They can get, I mean, like, weird, like with how those games turn out. I mean, like last year it was just like an overtime shootout. This year it's like both defenses. Man,
yeah, both defenses wanted to send a message this year that they wanted to make a difference. No high scoring in this one. But man, did Georgia just control the time of possession. Have an 11-minute lead on there. Just pounding it the rock all day. Is Frazier a senior this year? Only a sophomore, because they're building his draft stock up nicely.
Yeah.
And Gunnar Stockton being a junior, they probably got a few guys staying too.
Definitely. All right. Just quickly, I want to bring up some stuff on this Utah game. I would say definitely be thankful that this is a team that isn't making the playoffs, that you wouldn't have to face round one. Because, I mean, man, if you've got to throw the football on Utah, this secondary is nasty. Kansas found a lot of success running it. They ran it 51 times for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the problem is that Utah was leading pretty much all of this game except for briefly in the third quarter. And then they just took over in the fourth, scoring 21 fourth quarter points. And yeah, Jalen Daniels had a miserable game trying to throw against this secondary. They had 3 interceptions on him. He was 10 of 27. They had another pick 6 in this one. They also forced a couple of fumbles that they weren't able to grab. But yeah, they were swarming. Elijah Davis with a 97-yard pick 6 in this one. So
that's tragic for the man. Jalen Daniels, dude. Because this team's really trying to rebuild. They got some good players, but they're in a tougher conference. Big 12's only getting better.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, they don't even really have like basketball anymore because I don't know. I think the Jayhawks basketball team might be a little fraudulent. Will they probably still make it to the tournament? Yeah, but like, I think Sweet 16 is probably their ceiling. But I would say, you know, depending on what seed they get, I mean, they could be like I could see them being like a 6 or 7 type of seed and easily going down in round 1 if that's the case. Like, so
yeah,
that'll be we're talking about college football playoff, not college basketball playoff right now. And Kansas won't be anywhere near that. Utah not going to make it. I mean, I don't really think there's any route for them in here. And hopefully they take their bowl game seriously, whoever they play. Because, I mean, if they do, I mean, I think that team, if Utah get up on you early, you got to throw it against that secondary. I mean, they can be a little vulnerable against the run, as Kansas was able to lean on. But, I mean, that was like you can run as much as you want, but if you're trailing, I mean, they'll take that. And it was like, yeah, you're moving the ball on the ground, but you were wasting a ton of clock trying to come back in that one. All right. I don't know if there's anything really to say on the Texas Tech victory besides, yeah, they dominated. Brad Morton, 310 and 3 touchdowns. Cameron Dickey was good. I mean, they were just kind of getting a bunch of people involved in this one.
Let's go over to the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Yeah.
That's one really. Ohio State sent a message this game.
I think so.
They dominated this pretty good offense. Michigan was trying to make their case to get back into the playoff. And I mean, if Oregon lost and they win this game, Ohio State loses Big Ten championship. Indiana easily could see him in there replacing Oregon. But in this game, the only thing they could defend was midfield at the end of the game because Julian Sayin had 233 yards and 3 touchdowns. The biggest thing on him, I didn't know he was from California. So everyone's saying they're praying for snow. California kids never played in any kind of snow or weather like this. He didn't even have any sleeves on. Threw the early pick and then just
he was dotting them all
down for the rest of the game.
Yeah, dude, he looked unfazed. Even after the interception, came right back out there, threw a strike, and ended up getting the first touchdown of the game. Forget who that went to. I think that was he hit Jeremiah Smith. That was a 35-yarder he hit. And yeah, he just was so unfazed by the crowd. Michigan's defense struggled to really get to him all day. They ran the ball. I mean, guys, we might just have to get ready for a back-to-back with Ohio State. They're going to be a tough team. What Matt Patricia is doing with that defense, oh my God, it's
scary,
really,
man.
They really took the running game away from Michigan early. Jordan Marshall kind of got hurt, which, I mean, he had ripped off some big ones early, and then he made it back in, but at that point the game kind of was starting to get away from them. And if I'm Michigan, I'm like, I don't know if I'm committed to Bryce Underwood for another year, man. I just don't think he at any point in the season showed any progression as a passer.
I think here and there he showed some flashes.
It's just like against like the steep competition, man. Like
he is only a freshman.
You look at Oklahoma, you look at USC, and now Ohio State. Those 3 losses, those teams took away the run game. Michigan wasn't able to run it as effectively, and they were just a lot more limited, and they just couldn't keep up with any of them. I mean, you look at some other games like Northwestern, the Purdue game, even those games felt like they were a lot closer than they should have been just because Underwood had the pass. I get it; he's a freshman. I just don't. There really wasn't just any performances for his or anything that really jumped out. That was like, okay, like there's something here. Like he can progress as a passer. Like he's got amazing athleticism. He's super dangerous with his legs. I'm just not sure. I'm not sold on him being the quarterback for you. And I know you like to run. Michigan likes to run the football, so having the QB that needs to throw the lot isn't super necessary. But I mean, you need a QB to be able to make some big throws when it matters. Still, I guess they won the national championship with JJ McCarthy. So
Yeah, and I mean in this one they probably played against best team in the country, best defense in the country.
oh, hands
Probably
down,
your
best
national
defense in the country.
champion. This is probably the
And what's crazy, I mean,
that'll be the deciding game on that.
if Sands only a sophomore, I mean, like he has to play at least one more year before he can declare from the draft, right? He's got to do 3. He wasn't was he redshirted?
I'm not sure.
If he was redshirted and this is actually his 3rd year, I feel like in the NFL he'll be going on to an NFL team. If not, be scary if he's coming back. But I think he was redshirted. You know, if Julian Saint was redshirted, drop it in the comments. Pretty sure he was.
He was, and he pretty much has to play again. That he's only got one. He's really only played 1 year of football. He was on the scout team if you're redshirted, so you didn't actually really suit up to play every week at the game. So you didn't. Your eligibility is fine. So, man, Ryan Day can rest easy.
Yeah.
It's funny though. It's a lot of those same claims that were being made. Remember when people were talking crap about Jack Sawyer last year? Where was your effort to defend the logo during the game? It's like, where is Michigan's effort to defend the logo during the game? At least Ohio State scored a touchdown last year's game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a better game than this one.
They were just wholeheartedly overmatched.
Yeah, they got beat down.
All right. Well, let's flash over to the West Coast. Oregon, Washington. And yeah, like I said, I mean, 12-point victory is at one point a 5-point game in the 4th quarter. But even at that point, it really didn't feel like Oregon was in too much danger. I got to say, I mean, the offense is still a pretty, your typical explosive Oregon offense that likes to generates a lot of big plays. They can run the ball pretty well. They've got the good quarterback. Dante Moore has been really efficient in his past few games. He's done a good job of protecting the football as well. Like I said, I mean, this is probably one of the better defenses Oregon has had in a while. Because like the linebacker Bryce Buchetta is just a tackle machine. I really like Mateo Uyungale, that edge rusher that they got there. Dude, he's pretty nasty. He'll probably be a first-round draft pick here. And he's a junior? Oh yeah, he'll be a first-round draft pick this year probably. They got a good secondary that really shut down this Washington passing attack. They picked off Damon Williams 2 times. And we're all right against the run. They did give up 154 on the ground, but again, a lot of that was just like Washington was having success running the football, but overpassing it. And it was like Oregon was willing to sacrifice the runs because they couldn't really move the ball through the air. And it wasn't like they were going super far.
Yep. And that just keeps the clock moving.
Right.
How do you come back when you can't stop the clock?
Like, yeah, you're running the football well, but you aren't. And at the same time, it's hurting you in terms of your game management.
Because you're just you're taking your own time away, and they're okay with that.
Just
There might even be drives where they let you run it down the field goal range, and then they decide to stop you. You waste all that time Can't even get a touchdown out of it. That's all part of the game plan when you did get a good enough lead like that.
So yeah, Oregon with their likely to have a home playoff game. I think with the Lane Kiffin drama and everything, you're looking at Oregon probably being the 5 seed. If I had to guess, I think six is probably the lowest they'll go, but I think they're going to be the 5 seed. And yeah, that might be your group of 5 winner, one of the two most likely. So I mean, now it's shaping up to be like a pretty favorable home match for Oregon. Maybe help if that's a victory where you just can score a lot of points in and just run them over. I mean, I don't want to guarantee, like, if it's like a team like North Texas or something, could be difficult, but get a good confidence building win before you head into the next round. And who would the 5 seed play? That was wouldn't that be
5 seed plays the 12?
No, after if they win.
Probably the 1.
Is it because Ohio State wasn't the 5 last year?
I'm just that's probably just like common bracket where the higher seed plays the lower seed.
They would play the 4 seed. It was, I think, because that was how it went last year. Texas was the 5 seed, and they went on and played Arizona State. So that could be interesting because, I mean, then you might get I feel like Georgia. No, it wouldn't be Georgia. It'd probably be, well, maybe. I don't know where A&M's going to slide to. So I feel like Georgia, whoever wins the ACC or the SEC championship game is probably your 4 seed. Maybe, I think they'll probably keep Indiana in the top 5 regardless. So it might be Georgia, might be Texas Tech. You get Georgia. I don't know if that offense struggles. That could be in your favor. That'll be interesting. I feel like Oregon's got potentially an easier path though than they had last year, which is good for them.
Well, I mean, last year they had a month off.
It was like you go from not playing football for that long. I feel like if they got somebody else, it might have been a different story. But I mean, Ohio State was on fire at that point. I mean, they just and like that again. That loss to Michigan was a great thing for them because it woke them up. So maybe they not having that this year negatively impacts them, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely waking everybody up this year to watch out for a little dynasty ruin. Dude, that's crazy. They've just been in the driver's seat for the Big Ten the whole year, even though Indiana's there. I think every week of the season, people have been giving Ohio State nod over Indiana. Even though they've both been playing really good. They're both top 2 teams are about to play each other in the conference championship. But I think it's just since the beginning of the season, Ohio State's just been over them. Just been getting the odds.
Well, they beat Texas week 1, jumped into the 1 spot in the country, and then have just held it ever since.
They've been there the whole year.
Playing like a true number 1, though. They're beating everybody that they come up against. So, all right, we're gonna go down here. We're gonna look at this Oklahoma game a little bit.
Tough one.
Like I said, man, some empty stats. Like, yeah, you put up 318 passing, but the turnovers, like Oklahoma, you got to just try to avoid this. And it was a lot. It was all material. I mean, he threw 3 interceptions. Those were all all their turnovers in this one. They were super inefficient on fourth down. But they were just lucky that LSU's offense is even more anemic and
Michael
dysfunctional.
Van Buren, 96 passing yards, touchdown and a pick. Terrible.
Just, LSU couldn't run the football, couldn't throw it. And, Oklahoma put together some solid drives, and then they just, would crap them away with the interceptions, or they, get a couple of first downs, get around midfield, and then just fail on fourth down, and they don't really got the kicker to try too many of those long field goals. So it's unless you're getting to around the 35, your opponent's 35 or better, they kind of have to punt or go for it. And they did once and failed. Yeah. This game really ultimately just came down to LSU having a major lapse on defense. And Sentenga being wide open. So Sooners I think they probably stay at 8. So whoever the 9 is going to be, that's likely their matchup, which could be Notre Dame.
They're probably going to get killed by Notre Dame.
Yeah. They're going to be in some trouble. Because if I'm going, like I said, my top 4, your winner of the Big Ten is going to be your 1 seed, and then I think the loser is going to be the 2 seed still. Put your winner of the Big 12 at 3, winner of the SEC at 4, Oregon at 5, A&M, maybe A&M at 5, but I probably put Oregon above A&M. So A&M at 6, Ole Miss at 7, Sooners at 8, and the Irish at 9.
What if they put Notre Dame in the top 4 now that Texas A&M lost?
I don't think they give Notre Dame a first round bye. I think that's going to go to our.
Oh yeah, they can't because they're not in a conference.
Yeah.
The highest they can get is freaking 6.
I feel like you've got 3 one-loss teams that aren't going to be in their conference championships that you're going to just have to kind of that would all have to be above them. Maybe Oklahoma and Notre Dame get flipped though, and it's like Oklahoma's 9, Notre Dame's 8, and then you got to go to Notre Dame, and you're not playing at home. I think Oklahoma's going to be in some trouble if the offense can't get that figured out.
Yeah, because Notre Dame will just run it all over them like they did against Stanford. Jeremiah Love took the night off in this one. Only 66 yards. He let Anais Williams take over, get 2 touchdowns. He got one of his own. Jadarian Price got a touchdown. And C.J. Carr threw for 2 passing touchdowns. So did Burnham. Joshua Burnham had a passing touchdown.
I think that was like a
84-yard passing touchdown to Luke Talek.
Because this is Joshua Burnham's a defensive lineman too.
Yeah, and Luke Talek is a safety. So they put in some defensive players on offense, and they wound up getting an 84-yard touchdown pass. Where's this highlight?
Oh, I'm watching it now.
Why did I never see this at all in the whole weekend?
Oh, it was like on a punt.
Wow.
And so, yeah, they snap it to the D lineman, then he throws like a jump pass over the defense.
And that Talek dude
he beats the return man, and like nobody else was able to catch him.
Wow.
And they did that up 14-0 in the second quarter. Just disrespectful.
Man, Notre Dame pulling out all the stops.
I like how
49-20.
why are you using that on Stanford though of all teams?
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Although now I'm like, okay, but like Marcus Freeman's a good coach, so now you got to think like teams are going to be aware of that, and now it's like, how do they bait? Like, do they kind of bait you with that? You know,
Yeah, they're gonna bait fake punts all playoffs.
we'll see how he uses that. But wow, that
Pretty.
was that was a pretty cool play. I'm not gonna lie.
The time of possession was so even because of how fast Notre Dame is scoring.
Oh,
They only have like 2 minutes longer in possession, but they scored 49 points. They were just driving down the field in like a couple minutes, kicking it back off.
All right, let's jump into the Iron Bowl
This
because
one's close too.
yeah, we
got Alabama on watch now.
Alabama. Do you think they beat Georgia? I got to be honest with you. I'm still not sure, dude. Like Simpson.
They've beat them before this year, 24-21, but this is the perfect game.
What happened to Simpson, though, man? Because he's looked just dysfunctional the past few weeks.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, but he was not very efficient. Wasn't very accurate.
Either turnovers are a huge problem for him. He's not really putting up a lot of yardage aside from that. Like, I'm looking like at his last 5. Like, his best passing yardage was Oklahoma 326, and that was a loss for him. He had an interception. They fumbled. There were all these turnovers for the Tide. I mean, he's just been really inaccurate. Like his passing totals like 24 of 43, 21 of 35, 28 of 42, 19 of 35 against the last 4 SEC opponents, and then against Eastern Illinois it was 11 to 16. For only $147 and no touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He's the whole offense of Alabama is just like a lot more disjointed and not really that functional. They ran the ball a little bit better in this one. We'll say
Jam Miller was going crazy.
I am
158 yards.
I'm not super confident in the Tide. Like, this kind of just ended up being like, this is going to be. I mean, usually Bama and Georgia square off, and it's a good game, I suppose. But like, with the way these two teams have looked this weekend. Like, I mean, like, I think whoever wins this, like, whoever's offense just shows up. Both teams got pretty solid defenses. I think Georgia has the edge there slightly, but yeah, whoever shows up wins it. I mean, like, Auburn they weren't particularly careful with the football. I mean, they somehow put the ball on the ground 4 times and only lost it once. Ashton Daniels, despite being the completion percentage being low, did put up decent yardage, had a 259 and 108 on the ground. I mean, they got the late, like I said, Bama got the late takeaway, forced the fumble. That was the big thing to seal this one. But I thought this whole game, I'm like, man, like, Auburn's so close to pulling this off. Like, Bama's like, every time I thought Bama had a chance to put them away, I really,
you just couldn't do it.
Auburn would get a stop, or Bama would fizzle out, and just kept keeping pace. So, no, not a lot of confidence in the Tide for me. I'm not going to lie. I think I don't know if they lose. I mean, they lose to Georgia, which I think they will. I'm pretty confident Georgia's going to win. at the neutral site, be the SEC champions again. I mean, I need some people's thoughts on this, but there's just no way again. What's going on, Blake? There's just no way again that you can put a 3-loss Bama in over like we're going to say BYU, Utah.
I think them being in the SEC championship
Miami
helps the rest of the playoff, because now you can't have all these SEC schools in there, and you get a legitimate case. Because week 14 they didn't play that great. They might have won, but it got them into their situation in week 15 where they got beat, and it feels a lot more safe that a couple teams could be getting replaced here, and us only being confident in Ole Miss or in Georgia, it makes a lot of sense. I think that's good for the rest of the bracket, because it's messed up right now, but there's still this game still got to be played, and we're gonna see what happens after these conference championships. Because BYU gets their rematch against Texas Tech. If they win that game and Alabama loses, I don't think the committee has any other choice but to put them in the playoff.
Well, we're talking about a team that's probably not going to be in there, Vanderbilt, which does suck because, man, this is a special season. They capped it off with a big win over Tennessee. It's looking a little rocky early. Pavia with 2 early interceptions, but man, dude, he took over at the end of this one. He had one of their 5 rushing touchdowns for the Commodores, and yet he was 268 for 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions through the air, 165 on the ground, and another touchdown. Cedric Alexander added $115 and 3 touchdowns himself. And yeah, like watching this game in the fourth quarter, Vanderbilt just took over. I mean, really the whole second half, Vandy took over. It was actually 21-21 at halftime. So you're like a tie game. Like, all right, this might be a nail biter. Nope, 45-24 is your final score. So it was outscored 24-3 in the second half. Tennessee was.
Killed them.
Pavia's
down.
I think Diego Pavia is going to make a fine NFL quarterback. Though he's got some great arm talent and his dual threat ability. You get him, obviously, going to the right team in the right situation can play a big factor in that.
Yeah, if he gets on the right offense, I think that dual threat ability will translate nicely. But if he's going to a scheme that's trying to get him to do something that he is not built, it might take a while or it might not even work out at all. He's one of those guys that he can translate to the NFL well, his skill set, if he's in the right scenario.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, he's just got like good size and stature.
Yeah, he's got a nice.
Not like incredibly tall, but he's 6 foot 207. Like, he's got some power to him. Yeah, like, I think he'll translate nicely. And even though they won't be playing for a national title, I mean, like, gotta be satisfied with a solid season here. All right. Well, for me, I think the last game I really just wanted to touch on is this Miami-Pittsburgh game. Now, this was exactly what Miami was expecting with Carson back here. 267, 3 touchdowns. He had a fantastic game. Malachi Toney had an absolutely incredible catch in this one to go along with his 13 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Dude, this guy, only a freshman, Malachi Toney. He's an absolute yak monster. He had 84 receptions for 970 yards and 7 touchdowns this season. future's bright for him, that's for sure. But yeah, that defense of Miami was just all over Mason Heinstall and this Pitt offense. Held them, if you take out the sack yardage, held them to only 54 rushing yards on the day. They had 6 TFLs, 4 sacks, picked the ball off, forced 2 fumbles, weren't able to recover them, but held Pitt to only 7 points. Dominating victory. And again, this will be that like conundrum where you look at Miami, it's like, okay, they had 2 conference losses, but again, against some of the better teams in their conference. Louisville 8-4, SMU 8-4 as well.
I think it's just a little weird that Duke made it to the conference championship over them. Because didn't everybody that they needed to lose in order for them to make it in lost, right?
Who, Miami?
They needed SMU to lose for them to be able to get in.
They needed Duke to lose, though. Like the way
they didn't even play Duke. That doesn't even make any sense.
The scenarios.
Miami, a 2-loss team, is worried about Duke. They didn't even fucking get near them this year.
Like conference, there were so many weird things that they factored into this, and like just it was a whole mess that somehow ended up with Duke being the 6-2 team that qualified over Georgia Tech, over Pittsburgh, over Miami, over SMU. I don't know if it was just like I think it was mostly just strength of conference opponents
Let's
that
go,
they
Duke.
beat, or some sort of point differential thing.
I don't want the ACC in the playoff. Let's go, Duke.
No, I don't like it. They
At
don't.
this point, just
this
go.
doesn't make
Y'all
it
can
like-
go to Cancun.
Yeah,
Let's go Duke, and then freaking
it's a complete.
Mountain West winner will be in it.
Yeah, it's a complete mess. So Duke, just win. Just spare us the cluster cluck that was the ACC for being in here. I don't know. Like they don't deserve a playoff team at this point. I mean, you're gonna have.
We don't need another first round exit.
You're gonna have a 10-2 team.
Just get their ass kicked.
Like honestly, probably your best chance to represent your conference has no chance of making it at this point. I don't know if there's still like a point. Like I just doubt the committee's gonna give Miami anything. You know, they're not gonna get it. So that's that, and we're gonna just have to see what happens tonight.
Let's go, Duke.
Let's take a look at these games next week. Let's drop some predictions.
First one, Friday night.
I'm gonna grab a
North
notepad. We're gonna
Texas.
write these down.
All right. North Texas and Tulane, everyone. That's going to be the first game in Yulman Stadium in New Orleans. And I'm going with Tulane. What else does the city of New Orleans have to ride for, man? This is our team. They got to go. We're in the top 5 of FBS wins since 2021. We're at 41. So I'm gonna ride with Tulane here. I'm thinking Tulane gets the win.
Riding with Tulane. All right. You think there'll be any drama with John Summerall? Obviously, they know he's taken the job at Florida, but he's going to finish out the season, I believe, right? Tulane's head coach.
It's looking like it, yeah.
All right. So we got the American. It's going to go. K-Man's going Tulane. I'm going North Texas, man. They got a special offense there. They can just put up some points. I believe these teams, didn't they face earlier this year? No, that was USF that North Texas faced. Which was their only loss. But yeah, no, I like Mets Maker's having himself a fantastic season. I'm riding with North Texas on this one.
All right.
All right.
I guess Saturday, 10 a.m., the Big 12 Championship. BYU or Texas. Just so it doesn't mess up the bracket too much. Give me Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm also probably leaning Texas Tech here. Again, I really like BYU. I just think Texas Tech is they've just got a championship caliber roster. It's that oil money.
Yep.
All right. Swinging back over the Friday night, let's jump into the Conference USA championship game. Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. Who we like here?
Kennesaw. Even though it's in Jacksonville, Alabama. I think Kennesaw, the Owls, man, a little bit better of a season. They had to fight. They played some tougher teams too. They matched up against Indiana. They lost 56-9. And they played Wake Forest, who they only lost 10-9 to. I'm going with Kennesaw.
All right. See, I'm rolling with Jacksonville State though. I think they beat Kennesaw State earlier in the season. They've got an elite rushing offense. They're third in the country actually, 262 yards a game. And I think the Gamecocks, they go back-to-back here. Get that victory. All right, we're going to flash over to back over to a Power 5 conference, the SEC championship. Georgia, Alabama. I've told you earlier I like Georgia. Just the defense, I think they edge Alabama out in that aspect. And then the coaching staff, I don't trust the Tide to protect the football all too well. I'm not going to lie. What about you, K-Man? Who you got?
Going Georgia. It's probably going to be Georgia. And that boy Nate Frazier running all over Alabama in this game. Just controlling it.
All right. We're going to finish off our Friday night championships. First with the Mountain West, UNLV and Boise State. Got to go with UNLV. Boise just has like a wildly inconsistent defense. I think UNLV can definitely put some points up. All right, then the Sun Belt. JMU or Troy. JMU cleans up here, potentially sneaks into the playoff because we're going Duke and Virginia. I mean, who do I want to win? Duke. Who do I think will win? I think Virginia does actually take care of business. So for the sake of trying to keep my record on these predictions, I'm going to go with Virginia. But I'll be rooting for Duke.
I'll do the same. It's probably what's going to happen. But hopefully Duke wins and we don't have to worry about the ACC.
For the chaos element, I'm definitely rooting for Virginia. All right. Our last group of 5 conference, the MAC. Some action in the conference championship weekend. Miami of Ohio versus Western Michigan. Maybe one of these teams makes the playoff. No. Let
me go Western Michigan.
No, yeah, I think I'll go Western.
Playing at the Lions Stadium, though, that's pretty cool for the MAC. Playing at Ford Field.
Yeah, they give the MAC some decent love. And it deserves it. All right. But then the big one, the granddaddy of all the games this weekend. Indiana and Ohio State, the Big Ten. Who do we like here? I'm going Ohio State.
Yeah, me too. In Indiana, which I do kind of like their odds, but they've been dominant the whole year.
I'm almost tempted to change my answer, but I mean, with just the way the Buckeyes played against Michigan, I kind of think they're just going to repeat. We'll have to, which kind of bums me out to say because it's not really what I would want to see as a fan, but just as somebody that watched, is knowledgeable on football. You look at all three phases. I mean, they're solid on special teams. They got a good kicker. They execute pretty well there. But defensively, I mean, 2 top 10 receivers in the country, a Heisman candidate, quarterback. You've got the best defensive player probably in the country in Caleb Downs, with, an elite defensive line. There's going to be another multitude of draft picks on here. Got to go with the Buckeyes.
And me, too. Easy game. Not an easy game. It's going to be close. It's going to be way closer than the Michigan game. I think Ohio State is just going to be able to win.
Well, it's going to bring us to about our hour and a half mark. We say we go hit a quick break. That'll do it for our college football coverage of the day. When we come back, we'll have a breakdown of everything that went down on NFL Sunday. So stay with us. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Till the Final Whistle, Football Frenzy, here on Military Broadcast Radio.
I wish there was some place that I could go where I got the promise to never be alone. These bars all have last call and my friends, they ain't home. I wish there was some place that I could go with a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never
penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5 seconds before the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, everybody. You're looking live at Till the Final Whistle. Last hour and a half of the show, we got through Week 14 college football, and we get our little preview of Week 15. Conference Championship weekend is this weekend. Make sure to check it out. Week 13 just passed by. We had some Thanksgiving football, Black Friday football, the college games on Saturday, Sunday football, and Monday. We had a great weekend of football this weekend. But let's get into the NFL side. Week 13. Let's get into our quick rundown here. Starting on Thanksgiving.
All right, Turkey Day actually treated us to some really good football games. Packers pulling off the season sweep over their division rivals, the Lions, 31-24. Toyota-thon had started this week, and so Jordan Love is now officially locked in for the remainder of the season. Watch out, NFL. 31-24 victory over the Lions for the Packers. Then the Cowboys on a nice little winning streak. Jerry Jones actually making some trades that help the team out. They take down Kansas City 31-28. Big game for CD Lamb and George Pickens again. Dak Prescott, also fantastic. And the Bengals, they get Joe Burrow back. And with the Steelers and Ravens sitting at 6-6 and both looking kind of shaky. Ravens with 5 turnovers in this one. Not writing off the Bengals just yet to win the NFC North. How about that?
Yeah, it's definitely not out of the picture. I think the Steelers are kind of in panic mode for sure. I think they're definitely the one team that's going to be in panic mode. The Ravens, they still got some stuff to figure out too, honestly. Just like the Bengals do when now they got Joe back. But I mean, it's just good to see that you got your quarterback out there that actually wants to run your offense, dude, and is like making the scheme. Joe Burrow's just getting the ball out quick. Or, Joe Flacco's just getting the ball out quick. Getting a quick throw out. Hey, I'm going to throw it to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins all night long. You know, it's a little different when Joe Burrow's out there and he's actually progressing through his reads and trying to run the offense. That's why he also was getting sacked so much and getting injured. The offensive line looked a lot better when Joe Flacco was playing because he was just throwing the ball in a second. It's like Joe Burrow actually wants to play the game and make the offense work. But it really helped having him back.
Yeah. And I mean, the defense of the Bengals has been looking pretty solid the past couple weeks. I mean, the 5 turnovers in this one, 32-14 victory over the Ravens. You've got the Chicago Bears taking on the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday, and Chicago just ran all over Philadelphia. They come away with a 24-15 victory. And don't look now, the Bears are the 1 seed in the NFC. Then we get to Sunday. The 49ers, man, all these injuries, and they just won't go anywhere. They're 9-4. They come with a 26-8 victory over the Browns. And with the Rams losing, the Seahawks and the Rams are both just a game ahead of them at 9-3. So they're still in play for the division title. And Jackson
conversation for it.
They had a great Sunday. They just dominate the lowly Titans 25-3. Trevor Lawrence was picking apart that defense. It's good to have Brian Thomas back. And then, thanks to the Texans beating the Colts 20-16, the Jags have jumped into first place in the division. So look at that. Look out. Jacksonville kind of in a way throwing their hat in the ring for the race for the 1 seed.
Yeah, you'd never think that the Indianapolis Colts, #1 team in the whole NFL a couple weeks ago, they're now dropped into the wild card.
Yeah.
And the division doesn't seem like it's as stretch as it was in the beginning. When they were 7-2, man, give it to them.
Looked like they were going to run away with it, but now, I mean, you've got
Different.
the Jags jumped them, and the Texans are just a game back, really.
And you got CJ Stroud back and healthy. Best defense in the league right there.
Yeah. Like the Texans are going to be kind of scary down the stretch. With that, I'm kind of, that's a team I would kind of hope doesn't make the postseason. They could be a problem if they get in there. All right.
This was the best game of the week right here. Just wait till our freaking breakdown of this one.
The battle for draft position. The Saints get the victory by losing 21-17 to the Dolphins.
This game was sick, though.
It was actually a pretty entertaining game. It was one of those games where you got two teams that are pretty much eliminated from the playoffs, just throwing haymakers at each other. Dolphins come away with the victory in that one. Another game that was, again, like two teams out of playoff contention, but turned out to be really entertaining. Falcons, Jets. Jets win it on a walk-off field goal from Nick Folk as time expires in a rainy Meadowlands Stadium, 27-24. Buccaneers looking to get back on track against the Cardinals. Cardinals gave them a run for their money. Bucky Irving had a good return with a touchdown rush in this one, and the Bucs come away with a 20-17 victory.
They got a really good secondary, Cardinals. It's actually kind of surprising.
So that defense is good. Josh Sweat was harassing Baker Mayfield in that one. The Panthers pulling off one of the surprises of the week.
Big upset.
The NFL posted on Twitter just a picture of Matthew Stafford warming up before the game, and the caption was just 9. And it's like, you called him 9, and then he proceeded to play like J.J. McCarthy, throwing 2 interceptions and fumbling the game away. Honestly, besides that, he was pretty, those costly turnovers. He had a pretty good game still. But
the picks are rough. I mean, a strip sack is kind of hard to avoid when you're standing in the pocket just throwing the ball. I mean, the guy coming up on your blind side and swiping the ball out is probably going to fumble.
The superior 9 in this game, though, was Bryce Young. 2 touchdown passes on 4th down, and the Panthers come away with a 31-28 victory. I mean, breathing down the Buccaneers' necks. Then you had this was, I mean, really 2 elite defenses shutting down opposing offenses. The problem is that one offense decided to let the other defense score points. Seattle, honestly, a pretty ugly game for both quarterbacks. Had the less ugly game, 3 or 4 interceptions for the undrafted rookie Max Brosmer. 26-0. Seahawks get the victory. The Bills came out and just dominated the Steelers. I believe I sent this video to you from the content creator Film Watchers. Guy that just goes down and breaks down all 22 all week. The Bills ran the same running play 29 times against the Steelers, and it worked every time.
Couldn't stop it. It was to the point the fans in Pittsburgh were booing Renegade. On crucial downs, they play that Renegade song to hype up the defense of the stadium, and they booed it. That's all I'm saying. There's panic meters on, bro. They couldn't do anything.
You're not talking about that song that's like Renegade, that one?
No, like the old 80s song.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, how does that hype the defense?
No.
That makes a little more sense. 26-7, big win for the Bills to get back on track. Chargers trying to keep pace in that wild AFC playoff race, dominating the Raiders, 31-14. We did have, in the losing efforts, Puka Nacua had a fantastic one-handed catch. Brock Bowers, in the losing effort, had a fantastic one-handed catch in this one.
There's three pretty sick ones in this whole week.
Sunday Night Football, in another losing effort, Treylon Burks had an amazing one-handed catch as well. Very spirited effort from the Commanders on Sunday Night Football. Credit to them, dude. They just were like getting whatever they wanted, running the football. Marcus Mariota
had a career day.
Yeah, he was super accurate. Aside from that, boneheaded pick he threw in the red zone, that was honestly might have been one of the best games of his career. I don't know what it is. We kind of struggled containing Travis Kelce, and then Zachary. I don't know what it is with old ass tight ends this year that we're we can't cover them, but we held Brock Bowers to 2 catches for 31 yards when we played him on Thursday night. But came down to a 2-point conversion after an illegal pick helped.
Debo just dove in the end zone.
Helped Terry McLaurin get open for a touchdown. And then
That's
another
the worst
illegal
spot
pick.
to be matched up against the Broncos defense on their goal line.
And then another illegal pick left Jeremy McNichols wide open in the flat, but Nick Benito was able to bat it down. The officials on both sides, though, were absolutely atrocious in this game. Well, this was easily the worst officiated game of the week, and it wasn't even close. This is one of those games where you watch it, even after, even though we won, I'm glad we won. I feel for Washington fans, but somebody had to come away with this one because it could have been just a great game of football. Leaves a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth because you're like, what were some of these calls, man? It's one of those games you watch and you're like somebody's got to hold these officials accountable. What? There's got to be some sort of consequences. There were so many missed or bad calls.
There was some of them were right, some of them were missed, some were freaking horrible.
Yeah.
It was an overwhelming majority of just bad.
Yeah. We had a play end up with we ended up getting a sack because the most obvious trip you've ever seen in your life didn't get called live. And so they reviewed it and saw, oh yeah, he got intentionally tripped, but we didn't throw a flag on the play, so we can't add a penalty. So yeah, it's just 3rd and 21 for you now, Commanders. And like I said, there were the 2 illegal pick plays. There was some missed holdings. I definitely noticed there was 2 instances where we got away with a false start. The Commanders also got away with a couple of false starts. It just,
It got rough there at the end.
Despicably.
Should dove in the end zone, Debo.
Yeah. And then we got the Patriots took care of business on Monday night. Well, we were on the Broncos, so we're talking about the officiating. Yeah, that was terrible on both sides. Just refs were you know what? Let's try to bog this down with penalties and stoppages here late, clock issues. It's come on, can we just play this game? But besides that, I got fantastic game of football. Credit to Mariota, man. He really came out, played his ass off. The 50 pass attempts, he was 294 for 2 touchdowns. Had 55 rushing yards as well to lead his team in rushing yards. Yeah, the Broncos, man, we're missing J.K. Dobbins. We are just not running the ball as well with Harvey and McLaughlin.
Yeah, it's the last like 2 weeks in a row that you guys are like under 100 yards rushing as a team and over 20 carries.
But it is I gotta say, Bo was, besides that pick to Bobby Wagner, I don't know what he was reading there. That was kind of a bad read on his part. Besides that, I think he was really good, man. I mean, he had that incredible touchdown throw to Cortland. He made a lot of big time throws, hitting some crazy arm angles. Was 29 to 45 for 321 in the touchdown. Probably one of his better games as a passer this season. And Evan Ingram, man, nice to finally see you out there. Dude, that 41-yard reception in overtime, like that's why we brought you on there, man. We've been looking for plays like this, just.
He started early with the drops. And I was like, oh, man. And then he actually really turned it around.
Ended up being our leading receiver. Bo was able to go to him and and again, I've seen flashes of it where on third down, you need a tough catch like this. Sutton's double team, that's the other big body you can go to, and Ingram was he's been doing that, so we can continue to go to that. Well, we will definitely be all right. And then, dude, Hufanga had the late pass interference penalty on him, but dude, he was he's been a monster all year. This was up there with one of his all-time performances, man. 13 tackles, 10 of those were solo tackles. He had 2 PFLs, TFLs, everywhere. Pass deflection. Guy was all over there. Man, how about my guy Alex Singleton, dude? 2 weeks removed from testicular surgery. Get cancer removed. He's out there, 6 tackles, 2 pass deflections. Was making some big plays out there, dude. Yeah. Riley Moss didn't get penalized, so that was a huge W.
He was just getting bullied.
He got Moss, and then did get burned by Debo. But dude, it's a good save on the touchdown, but that didn't really matter because they got it a few plays later. But
yeah, that's still he saved the touchdown, but still that's Debo highlight right there.
And I'll say, I don't know, Vance Joseph, it was, I feel like he wasn't as aggressive blitzing. And I think for the most part, Mariota just did a great job of diagnosing it. He wasn't hitting them with too many disguised looks or blitzes, but I will say, when it mattered the most, man, he dialed up the absolute perfect blitz call because he sent more guys than they could block, which absolutely the right decision. And it was a very staggered look where 4 guys at the line, and then as they were getting in, after Mario said set and was getting ready to hike the ball, then you see them, they all start to creep up and kind of come in and rush from the secondary area. And so, yeah, there were more guys than they could block, and then they ended up a little confusion by the O-line. They ended up leaving Benito unblocked, and that was perfect because he was the only guy really there that had any type of shot, I think, to get to that check down route that would have just walked into the end zone. And he batted it down, saved the game. And I got to give I think a lot of that credit goes to Vance Joseph, where it just put it in the position where it ended up giving your star, one of your star defensive players, just a shot to win the game. And yeah, that pretty much had no chance with Benito coming in there. So not one of Vance Joseph's best games as a play caller this season. He was just really kind of wasn't stacking the box too much, I think. Shot because the Commanders I think we didn't really bring enough down most of the time to stop the run. And it was like obvious running situations. We'd still leave like a lot of white boxes.
Yeah, just leave stuff up the middle of the field.
And then I was like, man, like let's
zone.
try to like press or something or go to a little more zone because they were doing a lot of these quick outs, these like rub and pick routes too that were just making it difficult to
like that score to tie up the game and go to overtime was literally just like Kansas City Chiefs pick play. One guy's just going out into the flat, and your ex Terry McLaurin hit a quick slant, and they just got right in between the two defenders.
And I mean, it was like again, it was a penalty because like Debo just straight up blocked Surtain. He just like threw his shoulder.
That one was uncalled.
Yeah, and then the other one, I think, what was his name? I think it was Traylon Burks on the 2-point conversion attempt. The guy that was supposed to be Kevin McNichols in the flex, Burke literally he takes 2 steps, then like cuts inside and then just throws his hands out like this and blocks. I think it was Singleton who was trying to get out there into the flat to cover McNichols. He's literally just like blocks him like that. Doesn't even try to run. It was like then no flags on either. But again, Benito got home, so it didn't matter. No, it was Brandon Jones that was trying to run out into the flat from the safety position. And yeah, they just actually just straight up threw a block there. But Broncos 10-2, coming away with another thrilling
game
victory.
You want to win, man.
Yeah.
People
are still calling us frauds, but I don't even care because we're 10-2. We could probably still have the 1 seed.
Well, like it kind of
wasn't great in this game.
3-9 team, you can barely get that win, right? It feels like you can barely win it. No, your team stayed in it long enough to get the win. You didn't barely win that. Yes,
we still got the top 5 defense. I think the offense has been looking past 2 weeks. The game against Kansas City against this one were some of Bo's best games. He's, the completion percentage, I think, is slowly going up. So, I mean, we get a 1 seed with a top 5 defense in the playoffs. I'm confident in what we can do. Denver's a tough place to play in January. It really is. So, the weather will be cold. The air is going to be thin. I'll take a postseason. I'll take anybody in the postseason if we got home field advantage. I don't care. Okay, man. You want to talk about your Saints a little bit, though?
Do. This had to have been the freaking game of the year right here. We were down 16-0, right? Coming into the fourth quarter. Get a quick drive down the field, score a touchdown with Olave in the third, and, we're looking good. We're starting to build our comeback. Field goal in the fourth. Now it's 9-16. Or it's 11-16. It's looking a little bit closer now. It's looking a lot nicer. We finally get our defensive stop we need. Dolphins go for 3. And it all comes down to one drive. Our boys cook down the field. And guess who's got the game-tying touchdown? HG.
DeLon Vele, man. Dude,
DeLon freaking Vele.
This one for y'all.
And then Tyler shucks it up, dude. Throws a pick 6 on the 2-point conversion, and they return it back. So now it's 21-17 instead of 19-19. And guess who? Charlie Smith and Devon Vele, of all people. He recovered the onside kick in the fourth. It was Devon Vele right after he just scored a touchdown.
And that was so close, man. They called a penalty on that for illegal touch.
No, we got it.
Oh, that's right. They did.
We got it. We started driving down the field. We got 2 first downs. Called a timeout. We didn't have any timeouts left. But no. We actually still had our last timeout. We hadn't called any. but our drive just stifled out. 3rd and 1, we took our deep shot, which I wish we would have had that play on 2nd and 6, because we were able to get to the end zone right there, and the ball went right through Olave's hands, like right between his arms. He was just double covered. He couldn't get over to look at the ball until way later. Like, he was in the hand fight for so long. And 4th down, we line up in our tush push formation, and I'm just sitting there like, this is really how we're gonna lose.
Get stifled on the tush push. Because who took it too? Was it Taysom Hill that you had?
Let me just go to play by play right here.
I remember it was like it was like somebody weird though. I don't think
Tyler Shuck up the middle for no gain. 4th and 1 at Miami's 36, and we needed a touchdown, so we couldn't just kick a field goal right there. Yeah. I mean, as soon as you line up in that stupid tush push formation, and you're not the Philadelphia Eagles, just kiss it goodbye, man.
I was just surprised that they had Shuck doing it. Like, I know he's like tall, but I just think like Taysom Hill's just gives you more power there, because like he's tall, but Shuck's kind of like lanky,
He's lanky, he's a little skinnier.
Like, why would you go like
a powerful runner like Hill? And again, like, his breakaway speed is nothing like Taysom Hill either.
Yeah.
Like, in this game, we stayed in it the whole time. Horrible start. 16-0. Couldn't do anything in the first half. I was thinking, like, man, let's get Rattler back in there. But we just stuck it through. Our defense continued to make plays. We got 4 sacks in this one. Like, it really didn't look like a bad game from the defensive line. Achane cooked us.
He did.
But that's a lot of first half rushing yards right there.
That long touchdown run he had, who's number 1 on your team? Because like they just like ran right past him.
So Alontae Taylor.
Yeah, bro
that might just be how fast Devon Achane is, though, because that guy's really good in the run support.
No, like he straight up got out of Achane's way. Like he didn't even.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, I sent you. I sent you an angle of it. Like I don't know if you had seen it yet, but he just like jumped out of the way. It's like that one video of that kid in high school who like runs down and run support, and he just like runs past the running back and kind of like throws his arm out like he tried to tackle him because I didn't want to make any contact.
I know, because later they tried to run that same exact run play. And you know who blew it up? Danny Stutzman, the rookie, came in there from NC State. They ran literally that same exact outside zone, and he came and blew it up. He read that play instantly, laid a big hit on Devon Achane, and they had to punt that drive, which led to that Olave score. So we had big plays happen from our defense all day. Demario Davis still looking like a leader out there. Freaking, how was he, like 36, dude?
Kool-Aid was making Tula pay for just throwing a meatball deep down the field. That was a pretty good interception that he had.
He made some nice plays.
I like Vele, man. Those eight grabs for 93 yards and the touchdown.
This game really this was our most complete game of the year in just that second half. Like, in all 3 phases, we made good plays. We made our field goals, our extra points, recovered an onside kick, and we were successful in the red zone, even though we threw a pick 6 on the 2-point conversion. We scored 6 points instead of having to kick a field goal on every single drive. Felt like first half, we saw the missed opportunities that were there. Second half, the Dolphins kept giving them to us, and we finally were able to answer. Just stinks that it had to come down to a stupid tush push. I feel like if we take our deep shot to the end zone right there on second down instead of third down, we pick up that first and the drive continues. I think we might win that game if we don't call that. But I mean, I like it though. There's no time left in the game. You're barely in the red zone, backs against the wall. Take a shot. Take a shot.
Oh, get creative. Yeah.
It's kind of the only thing you can do.
Might as well go for broke.
Rip it.
Like, what else you got to lose?
So we're 2-10. NFL's posting that the Saints are eliminated from playoff contention. I was like, hey, man, I knew that 12 weeks ago. I just want to know who we're drafting.
Yeah. Hey, the race, you're looking good to stay in the top 5 pick conversation there.
Yeah, right now it's us. After the Titans, it's us, the Giants. Oh, the Giants are ahead of us because we beat them. So we're third. We would be the third pick of the draft right now.
What about the Raiders? Would they be? Yeah, they're also 2-10.
Well, I think they would also be at the 4th pick because they beat the Patriots in week 1.
That's true. So they probably have a little bit better opponent win percentage.
And they beat the Titans.
All right.
Who even knows right there?
Well, yeah, who knows? We'll see when we get to the end of the season. I mean, I think you guys can try to build some momentum and lock up a top 5 pick. Things will be all right. All right. So let's head back to Thanksgiving. Toyota-thon, man, was popping off against this Detroit defense. That was getting healthier, too. I mean, they were getting some guys back from injury. Terry and Arnold was finally, and DJ Reed coming back and getting it back into the lineup there, but it did not matter, man. Love was really good. Besides from the fumble he had, and I was just kind of getting strip sacked. It's a tough one to avoid. Yeah, dude, he carried them. Tavian Wicks having like a career day with 6 balls, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Love threw 4 TDs. It was a QB duel, man. Like, Jared Goff was pretty good himself, and 256 and 2 touchdowns. Both teams ran the ball pretty well. And this one, I mean, it was just a great back and forth between these two teams, and really just Matt LaFleur there at the end, not wanting to put the ball back in the Lions' hands, getting gutsy and going for it, and kind of beating Dan Campbell at his own shtick, you know?
Yeah, going for it on 4th down, taking a page out of his book.
You look at it, I mean, like, it was the Packers. They were the better 4th down team in this game. 3 for 3 on 4th down. And the Lions, I think they failed on like their last 7 4th down attempts. So it's not really working. Like, I like the being aggressive, but maybe dip off from that for a bit. It's not working as well. Time to back it, maybe be a little more conservative. Couldn't hurt. It's certainly not helping you.
Yeah, it could help them a little bit because their run game was pretty solid in this one, but 68 yards and 20 carries for Gibbs. I mean, they did a pretty good job at containing those ones from breaking out for too many yards. It was all under 5 yards per carry for him and Monty. And then
the big thing that kind of
Josh Jacobs is cooking him 5 yards a carry.
Yeah. The big thing that kind of boosted the Lions' rushing total is that Goff sprung loose for a 24-yard run. Like, just Gibbs and Montgomery as a unit had just like exactly 100 yards, which again isn't terrible, but it wasn't just that explosiveness that you're used to them from seeing from the Lions.
Josh Jacobs matched him.
Yeah,
with his total alone.
No Amon-Ra, but Jamison Williams stepped up into that role really nicely. And then whoever Tom Kennedy is, man, filling in, I assume, for Sam Laporta. He had a solid game there as well, but they weren't getting too much else from their other wide receivers. It was a lot of what's his name? Jamison.
It's the one thing I've really been seeing from the Packers, though, is that they have a lot of guys that just are really, like, for sure tacklers. Great, like, really good tacklers. McDuffie is a big, strong guy. You know, he can bring anyone down. Evan Williams, same thing. Edgerrin Cooper, same thing. McKinney is a pretty solid tackler, or a pretty smaller safety. Like, they have guys that just like to hit, tackle, just in coverage. They were a little bit slower against guys like Jamison Williams. You know, that they can get the top taken off. He had some pretty long passes in this one, where it's like run after catch or just, you know, get him on a go ball downfield. They have really good defense that can tackle, and when they stack the box, they can stop the run like no other. They just get kind of burned sometimes. That's a big play. Been their main thing, but it's kind of a good recipe that they have.
And I think if you're Green Bay, you know what has to be really exciting. Past couple of weeks, so past 3-4 weeks, Mike has really been making his presence felt. He was all over the field in this one, dude. 2.5 sacks, 3 TFLs, 8 total tackles. That's 4 QB hits, man. Like, you're the Packers, like, boy, he is really starting to play his best football of the year, and it's coming at the best time. You know, December and January is when you want guys playing their best ball. And he's coming alive for him. It was been a bit of a quieter year overall for Micah, but he's really starting to come alive these past couple weeks. I mean, he's shot up to now 12.5 sacks on the season, and 5 of those have come in the last 3 weeks. He's gotten 5 sacks over the last 3 weeks, so he's like coming to life for him. Evan Williams is really playing well. McDuffie playing really great as well. He had 12 tackles in this one. So Jordan Love, I don't know what it is with Toyotathon in this guy, but I mean,
it's this crunch time of the year for him where he plays better.
Every year, right? He just starts playing well around Toyotathon. It's crazy. Yeah, well, Broncos are going to have to play the Packers here, and I'm definitely a little nervous there. That was a very complete win out of Green Bay. And it was
really good.
They've been putting together some very complete wins the past 3 weeks.
3 games away from that double-digit win bet, or the 11 wins bet.
Yeah, I guess you weren't really part of that, but Mohawk might be getting nervous. I think he said he took the under on 11 wins.
Yep.
I don't know. That'll be close.
For Jimmy, they don't even have to go over. They just have to get 11.
Well, we're going to talk now about a team that can only hope to win 11 games, and that's if they're perfect the rest of the season. That's the Kansas City Chiefs, who fall to the Dallas Cowboys. And, I mean, the Cowboys' defense, again, wasn't fantastic in this one, but they did come away with 3 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney was pretty disruptive in this one. Mahomes still.
Forgot he was even on the team.
I feel like every year he pops up on a new NFC team. It's just wild. He's hanging around though. Yeah, Mahomes did throw for 4 touchdowns at 261 yards, but Dak, man, had an interception early, but then after that, he was really locked in.
He has like a mandatory first half pick, and then he's good to go to win.
He just has to get that out of the way.
It's mandatory every game. It's like he's allowed. He's forced to throw 1 interception.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, man, the thing is killing them. The penalties, dude, they're definitely been a lot more penalized this year. It's good to see because they've been getting away with a lot of cheating over the years. But yeah, 10 for 119 in this game just was killing. And it would kill a lot of momentum that they had. And yeah, the Spagnuolo, his defense was just getting diced up by Dak, who threw for 320 yards. CD 7 catches for 112 on the touchdown. George Pickens had 6 catches for 88 yards, 5 for 36 for Ferguson.
They're going crazy.
When
Ryan Flournoy.
When those 3 are going, and then Flournoy was making some plays there. Like he was doing it off of screen passes and stuff like that. That's a difficult unit to stop. Malik Davis added a big explosive running touchdown, 43 yards to help the total out there. They were getting Turpin involved a little bit with some pitch plays and things like that. And then Turpin was also just giving them great field position on returns, man. He was 5 kick returns for 118 yards. Aubrey was, deadly accurate. Just a great execution from the Cowboys on really every level. And, I mean, the defense did enough with the self-inflicted wounds that KC was doing to help them get a couple stops, force some punts. Kansas City was only 5 of 13 on 3rd down. We're 3 for 3 on 4th down. Now. They were really good there. The defense did just enough while the offense and special teams cooked. And with how explosive Dallas is offensively, the defense could do just enough and maybe get just enough stops.
That's just enough that they need to beat you.
It's been working out for them the past couple of weeks. Yeah, they can certainly be a dangerous unit. 3 straight wins for them coming out of the bye. Now they've got the Lions here in 2 days on Thursday night.
Tough stretch.
That'll definitely be a tough one. Then it kind of eases up for them. They'll have the Vikings. Chargers will be difficult. Commanders and Giants. So, I mean, you've coming out of it. You've beaten out of this really tough 5-game stretch minus the Vikings. You've beaten the Eagles and the Chiefs. So if you can come away with maybe you'll lose on the road to the Lions. Cowboys haven't been great on the road, but you get a home victory over the Chargers, and then road games but they're against conference opponents, but they're having pretty difficult seasons. You should be able to beat them. I mean, Dallas has really could play themselves back into playoff contention.
They really could.
It's not out of the question, that's for sure.
6-5-1. Really looking like they could make a little push.
All right, talking about teams that could still potentially play themselves in the playoff contention, the Bengals. I mean, think about this last year. They were kind of in this exact scenario at this time where they were 4-8, and they went out to win their last 5, and just barely missed out on the playoffs because the Chiefs decided to sit their starters. Could they do it again? I mean, they're really only 2 games back out of the division. Pittsburgh looks their offense is just non-existent.
Defeated.
It doesn't exist. And defensively, I mean, they can kind of just get outworked by a good run game. So I'm just not super sold on Pittsburgh's defense. like I said, the Bills ran the same play. I mean, like there were some slight variations, or like they would run it to a different side, but I mean, it was pretty much the same play concept 29 times, and it worked every time pretty much. There was like, I think like the worst it did was like pick up 2 yards, something like that.
When they finally someone decided to blow up the gap.
So yeah, Joe Burrow stays healthy. I mean, they ran for 128 in this one. Burrow was 252, 2 touchdowns. I mean, there was no T. Higgins. He was suspended, so you're getting him back here too to go along with Jamar Chase. It's like the Ravens' offense was, I mean, they somehow managed 123 on the ground, but they just had to go to the different guys. Were not very safe with the football. I mean, they turned it over 5 times. They fumbled going into the end zone with Isaiah Likely. I mean, Lamar
that one was just tough because
Lamar just dropped one. John Harbaugh might be getting fired, and yeah, the Ravens defense definitely still has some issues that they need to address.
that Isaiah Likely fumble was just rough because just reach the ball out with 2 hands and don't let go of the ball, or don't let anyone try to peanut punch you from behind while you're just trying to reach the ball forward.
I don't know why he even tried to reach it out there. Like, do you not feel the defenders behind you? Like, just tuck that to your body, man. I think he thought he was going into the end zone because, like, Jordan Battle knocked it out. Like, he chased him down, and like as Likely was trying to reach it out. Like, Battle hit his arm, and so he definitely knocked that out. Just tuck it up.
Clear day in that replay.
Worst case is you're tackled down at the 1 as long as you secure the ball. But like with all your momentum, if they're going to tackle you, you're probably just going to end up falling forward into the end zone anyways.
I think he's going to be a lot smaller than you. You're tight end. And you got a DB chasing you from behind. Should be able to just fall with him into the end zone. But that's rough. This was like his best game of the year, too, Isaiah Likely. 8 catches, 95 yards. Would have had a touchdown if that didn't happen. But, I mean, that's his top game of the year.
I got to say, I'm liking what I'm seeing from some of these guys on Cincinnati's defense. Jordan Battles has probably been their best defensive player all year, but Dax Hill's been playing better the past couple weeks. Geno Stone's been making some plays in the secondary. Joseph Osai, he was a menace in this one. He hit Lamar, had 4 QB hits and 2 sacks. Him and BJ Hill on the interior were a problem. I think Trey Hendrickson was out with an injury in this one as well. And so despite that, Cincinnati's defense looked really good. So let's see who their remaining schedules against. Because, I mean, I think they got the Ravens one more time. I mean, you look at where they're at in their division. They got the Ravens one more time. They're 3-1 in their division. Their only losses to the Steelers 2 weeks ago. But they've beaten the Browns once. They did beat the Steelers once. They beat the Ravens once. So they've got 2 home games coming up against the Ravens and Browns. They have the Bills next week. That'll be
really tough.
But I mean, if you can win that, if Baltimore continues to struggle, you can beat Baltimore the week after that. Then you've got Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland.
Yep. Dang.
No.
They really got a pretty good chance this year. It's not going to – I don't think it'll come down to the last Sunday of the year like it did last year.
I think they do have to beat Buffalo. Like, they can't afford to lose that. They're going to have to win out. So we will. I think we'll kind of know. Like, if they can beat the Bills, it's a road game. But if they beat them, I think the possibilities there. But if they lose to Buffalo, rather, I don't think it's happening. There's just no, like, 9 losses. I mean, unless Baltimore and Pittsburgh have, if they win out after losing to the Bills, because Baltimore and Pittsburgh have some all-time collapses, that's the only way I see it in. But, like, regardless, I think they just have to win the division. You're looking at the playoff picture. I mean, the South has 3 potential teams that could make it. The West has 3 potential teams that can make it. The East is going to have 2 teams. So I mean, you're looking at probably only 1 team out of the North. You've got 3. I mean, you've got 4 8-4 teams right now. 2 a 10-2 and 11-2 team. 7-5 team that's definitely in the mix, and then a couple of 3 6-6 teams that are still playing for their postseason berth. All right, should we jump over here to Friday football?
Yeah, man, because this one was crazy.
Yeah.
Bears got a 7th round running back, Monon guy. He's turning out to be something special for him.
Dude, the combo of Monangai and Swift, man, these guys rushed for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns combined. 281 yards as a team for Chicago and 47 carries, dude. And I thought that would be the struggle for Chicago, is trying to run against that defensive front. But, dude, they were just – I mean, Jalen Carter and Jordan Phillips, I mean, they were just non-factors in this one. Or Jordan Davis made some plays. But, yeah, like guys like Phillips, Carter, Jalix Hunt, even Ajomo, I mean, all really got neutralized in this one, man.
Yeah.
And Reed Blankenship and the Kobe Dean were making a lot of tackles. I mean, there were only 2 TFLs in this one. Caleb only got sacked twice. The Bears just controlled this game. I mean, they just did whatever they wanted up front, it felt like. I mean, you were just seeing huge holes open up for Chicago. 39 minutes of possession in this one.
Yeah, it was all kind of leading up on that run game, dude. 154 passing yards for Caleb. Only needed to complete 17 passes. I mean,
again, like Caleb's been still pretty inaccurate, but I feel like he's not really putting the ball in harm's way. And I mean, he's making some throws when it counts. So, with how often your defense can generate takeaways, and then, like, if you like, this is definitely a run first type of team. That's what we should be expecting from Ben Johnson, man. This was a statement victory to me, though, because, like,
I didn't expect this from Dennis Allen, man.
Yeah.
Because this is like a playoff defense right here. And they're really proving that they're the number 1 seed in the NFC just because of their defense, dude. They got Kevin Byard.
Did I think this game was going to be defensive?
He's got 6 picks. Nashawn Wright, 2nd in the league in picks. And he got a fumble recovery in this one. Jaquan Brisker gets at the quarterback all day off the edge. Nashawn Wright's good. CJ Gardner-Johnson. And you're doing all this without their best defensive player.
I thought this game would be defensive for sure, just because Philly's offense was going to have some problems, and I just thought like the Eagles' defense was going to be a lot for the Bears to handle. But, I mean, yeah, the 24 points isn't a ton, but I mean, really, Chicago had no issues offensively. This is exactly what they wanted to do. They did exactly that, which was run the football right down Philly. So I mean, two teams with almost the same record, and like one, I mean, this is just like the best. They're the best time of their lives. They're first in the NFC. They're playing for the 1 seed. They're first in their division. They're going to likely win double-digit games. And then on the other side, like this team is just, you're the defending Super Bowl champs, and you're just reeling. You're like, I mean, like, what's wrong with this game? You're like, what's wrong with the defense? Like, you can't run the football at all, really. I mean, I think Hurts was fairly good in this one, 230, 2 touchdowns and to 1 pick. Finally getting Jaylen Brown involved, or A.J. Brown involved, and it's just not – that's not translating to any success. And, I mean, now Dallas is kind of climbing up on you. They beat you. They got a game on you now, and they're only really 2 games back.
Yeah. And the rest of their year, Bears play in Green Bay this weekend. Browns, Green Bay again. That's kind of a tough stretch of 3 games right there. Followed by the Niners and Lions. These last 5 games are actually really tough.
Bears do have a really tough stretch to finish out the year. Eagles, I was looking at their schedule. They still got the Commanders twice. They've already played the Cowboys and Giants twice. So it's just the Commies that they got to finish their season against. They're going to play the Chargers next Monday night, which with that O-line that the Chargers got, and Herbert's already injured, that might help them get a back on track type of win. And then they do have to play the Bills in Buffalo.
Oh,
week
man.
16. So, I mean, besides that, though, you've got the Commanders and, like, the Raiders as your other competition. So it's not – they should be able to close out. And, I mean, I could see them only losing, like, 1 more game realistically. I think they can probably beat L.A. Again, with how good that defensive front is. Their only real loss that I think that I could see happening is maybe the Bills. So don't panic just yet, Philly fans. But I definitely see see why you're concerned that happened, because I was like that kind of had like a playoff type of atmosphere and feel to it. It was like a cold kind of poor weather game. I don't think it was really raining, but it was overcast. It's chilly. There was a lot of wind, and I mean, the game like that, yeah, like you want to be able to run the football, and you could not do that.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple of, I guess you could call them blowouts to really touch on. First, the 49ers, yeah, they got after Shedeur Sanders. He actually had to leave for a second with an injury. And the Browns did a fair job of running the football, gave 138 yards. But, yeah, I think, what's his name? Robert Saleh is just too good of a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and he got way too young of a team.
He just really was putting a lot of difficult looks on Sanders. And, like, he's got this defense playing really well despite all the injuries and despite them being down their top 2 plays. And they're kind of getting healthier. You know, like Mufasa has been back. Pinnock getting healthier. Diamador Lenore. You got Upton Stout's back in the lineup. Cleveland Farrell had a good game in this one, coming away with 2 sacks. And then
That's the perfect spot to be in right now to make that last second push.
I mean, like, I think the Niners, regardless, they're going to be in the playoffs. It'll just be like what their seeding is going to be. I mean, they'll probably be around like the 5 or 6 seed.
Definitely, yeah, be a wild card team.
They kind of struggle to run the ball, but again, like the defense just made some plays for them. And Brock put together a couple of solid drives. So right now, 9-4. That is a good commanding win. Wasn't nothing electric that jumped out to you on the stat sheet. And for the most part, it's like the same thing here in this this Jaguars game. I mean, they really didn't run the ball too well, but Trevor Lawrence, excuse me, was really good in this one. You got Brian Thomas back in the lineup. Jacoby Myers has been great for them since coming to the team. He had 6 catches.
One of the best pickups from the trade deadline.
Yeah, seriously.
This whole season.
6 grabs for 90 yards and a touchdown. T-Law 16 to 27, 229, and 2 touchdowns. Couple of fumbles that the Jags defense was able to grab. And came away with 3 sacks in this one. 5 QB hits, so they're getting some good pressure on Cam Ward. Yeah, they're just playing some good, complete, complementary football. I feel like everyone's doing their job pretty well. Maybe they're looking for a bit more in the return game. But besides that, I can't really think they have too many complaints. I guess, it is just the Titans, but Jags have gotten a couple of good signature victories this season. I mean, they've come away. They beat in the 3-game stretch. They beat the Texans, the 49ers, and the Chiefs. They've also defeated the Chargers. They crushed them. Beat the Panthers week 1, who are looking pretty good. So, only losses. I mean, they lost to the Bengals in week 2, which is probably their worst one. I mean, Seahawks and Rams, those are just some really elite teams that they lost to. They played the Seahawks close. The Rams kind of destroy them. And then
Seahawks. That might be a game for later on, second in the division. Once we get over to their game against the Vikings. Get over in the NFC West more. But they've been putting together some good games, the Jags.
Yeah. Well, let me jump over that Seattle game because, 25-3, not too much to talk about in that one. I mean, Jacksonville just kind of controlled that whole time. And same here with this 26-0 victory. I mean, Darnold was 14-26 for 128 yards. You held Jackson Smith and Jigba the 2 catches for 23 yards. So it's like, oh, well, surely that's a really good defensive performance. Surely we at least were close. Nope, you lost 26-0 because Brosmer threw for only 126 yards and 4 interceptions. And your top receiver, Justin Jefferson, he had 2 catches for 4 yards. The Seahawks defense from Max Brosner, they had 4 receptions for 121 yards and a touchdown.
Poor Max Brosner, dude.
Yeah.
Thrown to the Wolves in this game.
People were saying, oh, this could, he's like going to be the next Brock Purdy. I saw some comparisons to Brady, which was like also incredibly disrespectful to Drew Bledsoe, comparing him to J.J. McCarthy. Bledsoe was he was a good quarterback before he got hurt. And it was just unfortunate that the guy that ended up replacing him turned out to be the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. But Bledsoe was still a dog. We should not be out here comparing J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosner to those 2 guys.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what we were doing. But Minnesota fans they're hanging on by a thread after what the season they got to have last year compared to this year. I mean,
got to be able to protect your quarterback.
Justin Jefferson is furious, man. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he requests a trade at this point, going into the off season, dude. I don't know what Minnesota is going to do at their QB position because Carson Wentz is done for the year. Who are your Brosmer? You got McCarthy. I don't know what else you really got.
There's not even anyone. Let's go and get Jake Hayner, Minnesota. You can get him off our practice squad.
Bam. There you go. Yeah, maybe try to sign somebody off the practice squad. That is going to be your best bet. Like, Seattle didn't really do it. Like, they got shut down for the most part defensively. They were sacked 4 times. We're able to come.
This was a blitzing game right there.
Yeah,
all day long.
A lot of blitzes on both sides. I mean, a number of turnovers. Brosmer had the 4 picks. They also fumbled in this one, but the Seahawks lost 2 fumbles as well. So it wasn't like the Vikings defense wasn't generating turnovers. Each team was just absolutely atrocious on 3rd down. But one team's defense was just more swarming and brutal than the other. That was really the difference in that one. All right. Well, we're going to jump into some games that were a little closer now here in the early window. Colts, Texans. Texans are looking scary. I called it on the pick 'em. I was like, I think Texans defense is going to make Danny Dimes a little uncomfortable. He didn't really turn the ball over, but he was 14-27. Wasn't super accurate in this one.
Under
they
a lot
did a
of
really
pressure.
good job bottling up Jonathan Taylor. Only 85 yards on 21 attempts, a long of 12. This, I think, might be the best defense in the league. They're just
Easily.
they're big, they're fast. I mean, they can just really they can just man up with you and get pressure with 4. They've got they're great against the run. They honestly could still win the division too. Like, let's look at who they still got, because they're 1-1 with the Jags. They've beaten the Titans and Colts at least once. They played the Titans twice. They have. So they beat the Titans
twice. Yeah.
They beat the Titans twice. So that's.
Oh, they already have.
Yeah, their only division loss is week 3 to Jacksonville. After that, they've been undefeated in the division. I mean, after starting 0-3, they've gone 7-2, with their only losses to the Seahawks and the Broncos. For 2 pretty good teams.
Yeah.
We
really could see 3 AFC South teams in the playoffs, and that's not what I expected.
Next Sunday night, they got a tough one against the Chiefs, but dude, the Chiefs O-line has been fairly good in pass protection, but dude, they don't have a lot of big receivers, dude. Like that's where the big difference with a lot of these cornerbacks in Houston is, like, they got some like big, strong corners like that can just bully your receivers.
They can press.
Scrimmage. Yeah.
They can press and hold them at the line long enough for the pressure to get there.
Like, Houston's defensive philosophy isn't like complicated schemes and confusion. It's just beating
No, it's just we're stronger than you, hit harder, and we're going to tackle you.
We're stronger, we're faster, we're going to hit you hard, and we're just going to beat you down. I'm liking it. I mean, that game's in Arrowhead. That's going to be a tough one. Chiefs have been good at home. Then you've got a home game against the Cardinals and Raiders, on the road against the Chargers, at home against the Colts. The Chargers' offensive line is going to get slaughtered against this defensive line if they don't figure something out. If Justin Herbert's even alive at that point in the season, that might be the game that kills him. They already proved they went into Indy and beat the Colts.
Yeah, dude. Like
the Cardinals and Raiders. I mean, those aren't serious threats to you. The Chiefs they're very beatable. They're a lot better at home, and Mahomes is playing great. And they've had good protection for him. They just can't really run the football. And Nico Collins, he's been playing really well. And these corners for the Chiefs have been struggling the past few weeks. So I see a very realistic possibility of them winning out or going 4-1.
Yeah, in the last 5.
And so you're looking at a 12-5, 11-6 Texans team could potentially win the division. Even if they don't, I mean, that's if I'm the 3 or 2 seed, because I feel like that'd be right around where they're at probably. You're looking at, that would not be a fun team to have come play me because I got the defense to go deep in January. And they're running the ball a little bit better now.
Yeah, Woody Marks was injured, not injured. When they got close enough and they needed Nick Chubb to do something, they got it done with him.
Mm-hmm.
They got it done with Nick Chubb.
All right. We got the Bucks game here. A good, solid performance from Baker. I think he was playing through his injury, so nothing electric, but came out there, protected the football, was 194 and a touchdown. They got Bucky Irvin back. It wasn't it wasn't a ton of yardage really for the Buccaneers in this one, but they got up to a lead and they held it. The defense played pretty well. Some kind of late yardage as the Cardinals made it close. And man, you look at the way Arizona's defense has been playing. I'm just thinking if offensively they could have had anything figured out, this could be a very different story for this team. They got some really good players though. Will Johnson's been great. I mean, they contained Ibuka and Chris Godwin pretty well in this one.
Well, really good. Ibuka was silent. So we didn't mention from that Seahawks game, JSN was silent, and Justin Jefferson was silent, and they got some really good defensive performances on some top receivers.
Got Marvin Harrison back in the lineup for Arizona. Brissett did throw for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's he just keeps putting up empty stats because the Cardinals just keep not winning these games. He's playing well in all of them. I mean, his last 5, he's thrown for 261, 258, 452, 317, 301. And the only game that he's won out of those 5 is the 261 back against the Cowboys.
Dang.
Well, I mean, it was a much needed win for the Buccaneers. I don't trust whoever wins the NFC South because it could still be the Panthers. I mean, they're right there on Tampa Bay's ass. I think it'll probably still be the Bucs. Those 2 teams do have to play each other twice still. The Buccaneers also got the Saints, the Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers to end the year.
Boo.
No, not too crazy of a difficult stretch.
I hope the Panthers win the division.
Whoever wins it is going to probably lose.
They get destroyed.
Who would be who's our most likely?
Teams are going to be nuts.
Who's our most likely 5 seed? I mean, you're probably going to be playing Green Bay, Chicago, or Detroit. or maybe, I mean, no, probably like maybe Green Bay or like Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco potentially. I think most likely it's either Green Bay or Seattle. I still think the Rams got a slight advantage to win out the NFC West. Yeah, like they're going to get killed by whoever that is as the 5 seed.
It's going to be rough. Rough first round exit for the NFC South this year. They're just waiting for the Saints to build up. We can dominate the division again one day.
For the second coming of Drew Brees, Tyler Shuck to finally get it going. Well, I want to talk just a little bit about this Jets game because it was a fun one, but there's not really any playoff implications. The Jets win literally just hurts them because they're getting the worst draft pick now, but it's also the Jets. What do they know about utilizing their draft picks? But yeah, it's a good back and forth game. Adnan Mitchell, man, this was the type of games I thought he would be having more often. The 8 catches, 102, and a touchdown. Brees Hall was pretty limited, and this one did not keep up with Bijan's 142 yards and a touchdown in this one. Kirko, he was slinging the ball all right, 234. And yeah, I mean, the Falcons were like looking like the better team for a lot of this one. I mean, they outgained the Jets. They had more time of possession. They only had 1 penalty to the Jets having 9. They did have 1 turnover to the Jets having 0 on a muffed punt that gave the Jets a short field. And then they were just bad on third down, really. The Jets were a lot better at 7. Falcons were 4 of 12. The Jets were 7 of 16.
Dang.
I mean, the best part about the Jets season has been Nick Folk, who did have his first miss of the season and this one, but then redeemed himself, burying a 56-yarder to walk it off in the rain at MetLife Stadium. It was a fun
head
match.
coach is his former teammate. You believe that?
Oh my God, that he played.
Aaron Glenn was on the same team as Nick Folk.
Wow.
I think it was 2007.
Man's been he's doing it at a high level for a long time, bro. Now he's just kind of collecting money and just getting to look really good as he buries field goals for the Jets. I mean, he's 95%, basically 96% on the season after the 1 miss. And he is 100% on extra points. So they got him with that announcer jinx mentioning that he hadn't missed yet.
I know, and then he missed.
Yeah.
That's just criminal.
Also, the Jets got a huge kick return on Isaiah Williams. That was a big field position flipper as well. Fun. It's a fun early window game with some drama late, even though ultimately on the scope of the NFL season, it's not going to have much effect. This game certainly had some effect, though. The Rams-Panthers.
It was a sick one.
Stafford broke the record for most touchdown passes without an interception, then immediately proceeded to throw 2 interceptions, 1 a pick 6. And then Bryce Young, dude, just on 4th down, just dotting people up, finding Jalen Coker. Tetheroa McMillan's lone catch of the day was a 43-yard touchdown on 4th down. Coker had 4 catches for 74 yards. Chuba Hubbard kind of took back the backfield. Rico was really bottled up on 18 carries for 58 yards. He did have 2 receptions. Same with Chuba. Those guys both caught 2 passes. Chuba had a receiving touchdown. Derek Brown with the big forced fumble late. I mean, it wasn't like Stafford and the Rams were bad. I mean, they ran for 152 yards. Stafford was 243 for 2 touchdowns with the 2 interceptions, 18-28. Puka had an incredible one-handed catch. That was insane. Xavier Smith, never heard of this guy, but he kind of came out of nowhere. Devontae Adams' touchdown streak was continuing with 2 touchdowns in this one. But yeah, I mean, ultimately the Panthers they were able to make the big plays on 4th down. And they were 3 of 3 on 4th down, 7 of 15 on 3rd down. They protected the football, and just a sloppy game out of the Rams is ultimately what did them in.
Oh yeah, they got it running pretty well. Corum had a nice day, and Tyrone Williams had a nice day, but couldn't get a stop.
I mean, they were pretty even with the Panthers, except for when it came to converting 3rd downs and protecting the football. And ultimately, that made the difference in a 3-point game like this. And then Derek Brown, that guy's having a monster season, flying under the radar. But he's been so huge for them. 5th-year guy out of Auburn. He's got 4 sacks, 21 tackles, a forced fumble. Doesn't have his pass deflections on here. Here we go. He's got 7 of those on the year. And let's see, where's TFLs? ESPN, give me the guys TFLs. That's where he's been really making a big
tackle. Yeah, he's really good in the run.
On the run game, he's made it hard for teams to run on this guy. All right. I don't know where I can't seem to find the number, but it's good. It's a good amount. Yeah, Mike Jackson was fantastic in this one. I think he had he had one of those interceptions. It was the pick 6.
Yeah, the pick 6.
Nick Scott. I mean, the Panthers got a pretty legit defense, dude. J.C. Horn was quiet in this one, but that just kind of means that he didn't see a ton of action. Yeah, dude. Carolina is just such a confusing team because they'll go out and beat teams like the Packers, the Rams, the Cowboys, and then they'll lose to the Saints or the Cardinals. They'll struggle to beat the Jets.
Yeah, really bipolar.
But then blow out the Falcons. All over the place.
I think the whole time they've been playing pretty good football, though, even in the games that they've lost.
I mean, especially on the defensive side of the ball, they gotten blown out a couple times by the Patriots, New England, and Buffalo. Besides that, the defense, they do a good job of getting after the pass rush, and they've got some playmakers back there in that secondary. All right, on to, really, this wasn't even.
Oh, dang, it's noon.
Oh, crap, it is noon.
Oh, crap, I didn't even realize.
All right,
dude.
We actually got to sign off. That'll do it for the Football Frenzy and our show. Our shows this week. We're not going to have our normal Wednesday show tomorrow. Going to be up at Valor Points, handing
out those Christmas baskets.
That'll be pretty fun. Then we'll be back next week for another episode of the Football Frenzy, the recap conference championship weekend, and look ahead to what will now be a set college football playoff bracket. Plus, the NFL playoff race will be heating up. We'll be there to break it all down. So we'll see you guys next week here on Till the Final Whistle.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.